County Office of Education Board of Trustee meeting to order. First of all, let's see, do we have, are there any of the board members that would need to have a special accommodation to Zoom?
We have not had any requests under AB 2449 for a remote location.
Okay, thank you. If Dr. Spa would lead us in the roll call. I skip that every single time. Anyway, welcome again. And Berenice, would you take the roll for us, please?
Yes. Trustee Acosta. Trustee Estrada.
Here.
Trustee Nichols.
Here.
Trustee Sanchez. Trustee Van Allen. President Roth.
Here.
Student Trustee Alvarez Delgado.
Here.
Okay, now, Pledge of Allegiance.
Please face the flag. Stand if you can. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Bruce and seconded by Sandra. All the, our student, Oscar.
Yes.
Board, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
No opposed, so the motion passes. And I would like to say thank you for, well, no, I'll do that later. Public comment, item 4. This is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding items outside of the agenda. The board president will recognize any member of the audience not previously placed on the agenda who wishes to speak on a matter directly related to school business. Each speaker on any specific topic may speak up to 3 minutes unless otherwise limited or extended by the president. The president may allot time to those wishing to speak, but no action will be taken on matters presented. If appropriate, the president or any member of the board may direct that a matter be referred to the superintendent's office for placement on a future agenda. Do we have anyone who wishes to speak?
Yes, President Roth. We have a speaker on Zoom that is wishing to share some public comment. Nancy Cohen. Nancy, can you hear us? Are you able to unmute, Nancy?
Got it. Okay, now you can hear me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, I would like, I'm the owner of Rocking Horse Ranch Preschool in Soquel, and I wanted to speak about the local policy that parents do not have the ability to withhold their child from kindergarten enrollment until closer to 6 years of age. Right now, that's not an option. And I'd like to just read a letter very quickly that I sent to Superintendent Sabah. Up until about a year ago, it was always a parent's prerogative to decide whether or not to send their child to kindergarten when they were 5 or wait until they were closer to 6. California law stipulates that you must enroll your child in elementary school by the age of 6. However, it does not mandate that they start kindergarten at age 5. The issue for me is actually not about kindergarten, although every kindergarten teacher I've ever spoken to in my 35 years of running my preschool has agreed that it is the child's advantage to start school at the upper end of the age limit rather than the lower end. And this is especially true for boys who are much more large motor driven than girls. You cannot rush development, and emotional development is the most important factor in predicting school success. The reason I say it's not about kindergarten is that although a child may be able to keep up academically in kindergarten, It is when they reach middle school and high school that the emotional gap becomes more apparent and problematic. Children who begin their school career when they are not yet or barely 5 years old will be 11 years old and in the same class as children who are almost 13 when they are in middle school. They will also be graduating high school before they are 18 years old. The emotional driven decisions that teenagers make will have serious consequences, and those decisions are best made with a more mature mind. I don't believe that anyone can give me a good reason that has the best interest of a child in mind when making policies that require them to start school before they are emotionally ready and to put them in these precarious situations later on. I have 3 grown children of my own, 2 of which I did not start in kindergarten until they were closer to 6 because I had the choice at that time. And they are now happy and successful adults. In all my years of running my preschool, I have counseled many parents who are faced with this decision. Without exception, every one of them who elected to start their child later came back to me saying it was the best decision they could have made. On the contrary,
Excuse me, Ms. Cohen, you are out of time.
okay,
Did I hear you correctly that you did send this in writing to Dr. Sabah?
yes, I did.
Okay, we'll make sure that we see the rest of the letter. We appreciate your input.
Very good. I appreciate you hearing me.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to a matter that is not on the agenda? Moving on. We will go to the consent agenda. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So move.
Is there a
With the-
second?
And I think the chair was maybe going to acknowledge the gift.
Yes.
Which we really appreciate.
Yes, a gift was given to Delta Charter School, value of $800, and we appreciate that, and I'm sure Delta even appreciates it more. So,
Motion.
Oscar, your vote?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 6 is correspondence. Is there any correspondence that has been received?
No additional correspondence besides what was in the packet, President Roth.
Thank you. Item 7, reports, discussions, and presentations. We will go to item 7.1. Drum roll. 2024 Educators and Community Partner of the Year. Dr. Sabah.
Good afternoon, members of the board and members of the community. Thank you so much. This is one of the events that we look forward to all year, which is to celebrate our Educators of the Year. This is a longtime tradition where we have an opportunity to identify an organization of the year, an administrator of the year, a classified staff member of the year, a counselor of the year, and a teacher of the year. And this is a process where folks from across the county are able to nominate people in these different categories. There is a group of kind of a diverse group of people that reviews all the applications. And from the thousands of staff members and different organizations that we work with, we get to select these 4 amazing individuals and one organization that is celebrated and receives the honor of on behalf of the board and on behalf of the County Office of Education. And this year was like other years, but always it's such a special honor to be able to see the amazing work that's occurring on behalf of students in our community. And we are going to start with our organization of the year. And we work with many partners that help us and support our ability to be able to serve our students. And this year we are celebrating Woodstock Pizza. Woodstock is a business. You've probably gone to enjoy the pizza either in the community or in our events. We often get Woodstock Pizza for our events here at the County Office of Education. And for the last decade, Woodstock Pizza has been employing our Santa Cruz COE students and providing valuable work experience for them, and who are in our special education program. Each year, 3 to 5 students get to participate. They learn essential skills like following schedules, completing tasks, cleaning, and customer service. Woodstock not only facilitates training and work through the Workability Grant, but also rewards students with free pizza and other items for each shift that they work. The general manager, Travis Kuhn, has even hired some students after they've completed the program with us. Woodstock's Pizza is a true community partner. They accommodate student schedules and transportation needs while demonstrating leadership and providing opportunities for our students with disabilities to work and pursue their dreams. We always ask folks who want to speak about the nominees or the honorees. And this year we have a very special opportunity because one of our students, Bryson, who was participating in the program, would like to speak with you and talk to you a little bit about Woodstock Pizza. Bryson? Let's give him a round of applause.
Hello, my name is Bryson Wood. I have worked at Woodstock's Pizza for 2 years. I want to make this time to thank Woodstock's management for giving me the chance to work at this great place. I'm also grateful for the wonderful staff who are so nice to me every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bryson. That was amazing. Great job. So I'd like to welcome the general manager and Travis Kuhn, and also Forrest Prosser, who is the assistant general manager, to join me here and to share a few words with you. Nice.
Hey everybody, I'm Travis. The only other time I've been in here before was dropping off pizza for you guys, so it's cool to be in the room. And Bryson, that was awesome. Thank you for coming up here. I want to thank our owners, Jeff and Laura Ambrose. They empower me to do programs like this. And also Rory and Robert. This is a great honor and thank you. They make all this just a breeze. It's so rewarding. And I want to share maybe my favorite memory so far was not actually in the store, but was the holiday parade this year. We had a lot of fun, and Jane and Bryson and Alyssa all joined us in the trucks to ride for it. And it was really cool seeing how many of the community was so excited to see them in the truck and saying, hey, I feel like more people know them than they know me. Yeah, thank you guys so much. This is a really great honor.
Stand over there. So Travis, on behalf of the County Office of Education and the County Board of Education, let me stand. I'm actually going to take this off here. We'd like to present this award to you. Thank you for what you do as a partner. Thank you what you do for our students. Thank you for all the heart and support that you offer our students in our community. Congratulations. We're going to get a picture. Travis, can we get a picture with you? So we're going to, how should we do it?
Look over there.
This one actually, right here in the middle. And Bryson, could you come join us? Flex, you stand on that side. Can I get on this paper? Of course.
And first with the bow right here. Got it. Hey, here we go. One more. Thank you.
All right. Very, very exciting. We also select, out of all of the wonderful leaders and school leaders that we have, an administrator of the year for the county. And this year, our very own Crystal Renteria was selected as our administrator of the year for Santa Cruz County. Now, Crystal has been a director in our department and with our alternative education program, where she is an absolute innovative, dedicated, committed leader, really advocating for equity on behalf of our students and their families. She oversees both the Sequoia school site as well as 6 or 5 other Watsonville-based alternative education programs. And she works with obviously with our court and community schools. She has deep expertise in restorative practices, social emotional learning, trauma-informed approaches, and multi-tier systems of support. Crystal has been working 12 years in alternative education, and not only reinforces her commitment for meeting the academic and social emotional needs of students, but has also allowed but this has also allowed her to collaboratively build supportive, strength-based, and equitable learning environments with all our community stakeholders. She has dedicated her professional life and just brings a lot of heart to everything that she does every single day, working with our staff, working with our families, and of course, with our students. She is also a dedicated CrossFit Watsonville trainee, and she loves exploring new food establishments and traveling to attend music festivals all over the world. I'm going to ask Johnny Rice, our Executive Director of our Alternative Education Program, to please join me and share a few more words about Crystal. Let's give a round of applause for Johnny.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Crystal, do you want to come on up and join me? All right. In case you hadn't guessed, this is Crystal, everybody.
Round of applause for Crystal Renteria. Yeah, make it right here so you can face.
All right, there we go. All right, everybody. I've had the pleasure of knowing Crystal since she joined the county office back in 2020. Back then, she served as the coordinator for Sequoia Schools. Her dedication and talent were quickly recognized, leading to 2 quick promotions. First in 2021 to assistant director, and then in 2023 to director. With new titles came increased responsibilities, and over the past couple of years, Crystal has expanded her scope, providing invaluable support to all alternative education sites in Watsonville, including Sequoia Schools. Each new position has been a testament to her exceptional abilities as an administrator and an educator. What truly sets Crystal apart, though, is her genuine connection with students and families. Whether meeting a new prospective student, providing a progress update to a continuing student and their family, or calling for a hard conversation, Crystal shows up with care, compassion, and expertise. She is truly trauma-informed and restoration-minded. This individualized care and attention ensures our students feel safe and that they know that they belong. Crystal goes above and beyond to advocate for students, families, and staff, demonstrating an ongoing willingness to listen and learn. She possesses an optimistic, we can do this attitude. Crystal is beloved and respected by our alternative education staff. She's people-centered, always willing to listen first, always then asking, what can we do better? Where can we improve for the benefit of our students and staff? And she also asks, how can I do better? She's reflective and committed to her own growth, and she's okay with asking for critical feedback and support. This year, I've witnessed her maintain and build connections across partnerships in South County for the benefit of our students. She's succeeded in connecting more students to enrichment opportunities outside of school, such as Food What and Mountains to See, and she's expanded offerings and access to career technical education. Crystal's wise. She reflects on her experiences and learns from them. Her previous background as an alternative education teacher is therefore invaluable. This, combined with her exceptional communication skills, allows her to bridge the gap between students, staff, and families, uniting them towards a shared vision and mission. It's no wonder so many students are thriving under her support. Crystal Renteria is more than deserving of this recognition. She is a true asset here in alternative education, and she makes us better as an organization. For that, I congratulate her.
Thank you, Johnny, and thank you to the board, the superintendent, and the entire Santa Cruz County Office of Education. Because of all of your dedicated support and commitment to serving our students, our families, and our community, I am able to serve in this capacity. So I greatly appreciate this opportunity. And with that being said, I definitely want to acknowledge and recognize all of those who are streaming right now at Sequoia Schools, because without you all, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing to be the best leader that I can be. It's because of you that I'm able to be there for each and every student, family, and staff member so that we could come together and be, of service. And with that, I definitely want to acknowledge all alternative education leadership team as well, because without your guidance, mentorship, and support, we wouldn't be able to really be there and be committed to all of who we serve. So many thanks.
So Crystal, on behalf of the County Office of Education and the County Board of Education, we'd like to present to you this award as our Counselor of the Year for Santa Cruz County. Oh my God. As our Administrator of the Year for Santa Cruz County. Just change the award there. Congratulations, Crystal. I think we need to ask Sue Roth to join us as our president.
There we go.
All right. So we also celebrate our classified staff member of the year. And as you know, our classified staff are in many ways the backbone of the services that we offer in our school community. And so we usually get many nominees for this award. Jennifer Connick is a classified staff member at Pacific Elementary. She has been working for 18 years, working with children in various recreational and educational capacities. Her journey began after a year earning a bachelor's degree in biology and environmental studies from UC Santa Cruz. She ventured into roles such as wildlife researcher, wetland restorationist, and environmental educational director before finding her current position as an instructional aide at Pacific Elementary in Davenport. In her 2 years at Pacific Elementary, Jennifer has proven herself to be a versatile and dependable asset. Her responsibilities range from aiding in mathematics instruction for 6th graders to providing support in 4th grade, serving as a camp counselor, coordinating recreation activities, assisting in the food lab, acting as a substitute teacher, and offering support to special needs students. Next year, she is set to lead the technology and GATE programs for 3rd through 6th grade. Beyond her professional achievements, Jennifer finds fulfillment in being an integral part of the Pacific Elementary community where she has raised her own children. She expresses immense joy in contributing to the school's success, attributing it to the dedication of the staff and the strong bonds with students and families. I would like to share that when I actually called Jennifer, we had a little trouble getting a hold of each other because Jennifer kept on taking on different responsibilities supporting the school at Pacific Elementary. She is so versatile and supporting, whether it's instructional, whether it's helping out in terms of supervision, whether it's helping out with the lunches. Jennifer is there to support this community. And Pacific Elementary is one where all the staff have to step up, and Jennifer is an amazing support for Principal Eric Gross. So I'd like to welcome Principal Superintendent Eric Rose from Pacific Elementary to say a few more words about Jennifer.
So this is kind of a 2-for-1 deal for me because when I was principal of Soak Elementary, Bryson was a student there. So I feel like we're getting double the celebration here tonight. So in Pacific, we wear a lot of hats because we are small. We have kind of that frontier work ethic because we're out in the outskirts and we have to make do. We have to make things work. So we all pitch in and make it happen. But there's no one at our school that pitches in more and more ways than Jennifer. What I think of as her primary role as parent. She has 2 kids at Pacific. She's been a yard supervisor. She's been a classroom aide in different grade levels. She's been a food service aide. She does before school recreation, after school recreation, substitute teacher, a camp counselor during the vacations. And next year, she's going to switch again and be our GATE teacher and our technology teacher. And every week, almost every day, we are short somebody and we have to scramble and make things work. And our first thought is always like, well, can we pull Jennifer from whatever she's doing today to have her do something else? And when we go to her with this last minute bizarre request, she has the most pleasant response. She never panics. She never says, I can't. She never says, that's not in my job description. She always says, okay, how can we make this work? And sometimes it's tricky to make it work because she's often doing 2 things at once. But she's flexible, she's cooperative, she's a team player, she's competent, she's dedicated, she's insightful, and she's reliable. And somehow she makes it all work with a smile. I know I'm not the only one at Pacific that really appreciates all of that because a lot of things wouldn't be possible without her reacting this way and taking on new tasks. And this fall, I believe it is, she is completing her teacher credential. And so I expect that sometime in the near future, she might be adding something else to her resume. So Jennifer, thank you for everything you do. We really appreciate it.
We're going to ask Jennifer to join us here. Please give a big round of applause for Jennifer Connick.
Words. This is just a tremendous joy and honor to receive this award. And it's just a tremendous joy and honor to be a part of our school. We're such a small community, but we're pretty fierce and loyal, and all of our staff are so amazing at what we do every day. So it's just a joy to be there. My kids have been going there for 7 years and probably another 5. So it's a place I just love to be. And being recognized for all that I do is quite a surprise and quite an honor. So thank you, Principal Grass. Appreciate it.
So Jennifer, on behalf of the County Office of Education and the County Board of Education, we'd like to present this award as our classified staff member of the year for Santa Cruz County. Congratulations. Right in the middle.
Again? Oh.
So do 2 first calls and so all right. So right here first. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thank you. Here we go. One more. Thank you.
All right. Another, maybe more important than ever, has been the social emotional wellness of our students. And we are today celebrating our Counselor of the Year for the County of Santa Cruz. And that awardee is Soledad Hess. Soledad is a licensed clinical social worker and has been a mental health counselor at Mission Hill Middle School for 3 years. And she loves her job because of her amazing coworkers and students. Soledad grew up mostly barefoot between the West Coast and the family farm in Iowa. She has worked with children and families for the past 24 years and has a passion for incorporating art, music, and the outdoors into her work. Soledad loves to create art, write, and sing music in her band, cook up delicious food, travel abroad, and is a frequent attendee at music festivals, camp, thrift shops, and spending time with her daughter and family and friends. And she loves to snuggle up with her cats, Arwen and Pfeiffer. I'm going to ask Derek Kendall from Mission Hill, the principal of Mission Hill, to please join me and say a few more words about Soledad. Please welcome Derek.
I've asked my colleague and one of our teachers, Ms. Brown, to be here as well. Thank you. My name's Derek. I am the principal at Mission Hill. Soledad and I started at Mission Hill at the same time 3 years ago, but I can't take any credit for her hiring. She was hired over the summer, and she was part of a pool of social emotional specialists that were assigned to Santa Cruz City Schools. And Soledad, I feel that Mission Hill won the lottery when it comes to the social emotional specialists. She has been such a tremendous addition to our school community. We came to Mission Hill in the fall of 21, and as educators, we all know that was a really challenging fall coming back from distance learning. And our students and our staff got through that fall because of Soledad and because of the love and kindness and support that she showed to everyone. In addition to that, she's just a really good human. She's so talented and creative and brings joy and a wonderful spirit to everything she does. And I'm so grateful that she's part of the Mission Hill community. And so.
I saw that you did this, so I'm going to do it too. Because I'm Danielle Brown, and I'm a teacher over at Mission Hill Middle School. I am one of the people that nominated Soli for this award, and we call her Miss Soli. And the week that I nominated her, there was a lot going on in my class. And so when it popped up, who do you want to nominate? I was like, oh, we need to talk about Soli because she's the reason that I have sanity in my classroom. And I always get really nervous if I'm talking to you. Okay. So I would say that in general, Soli touches very specific students who feel other. For some reason in our schools, they are the minority or they're the LGBTQ plus that are exploring their sexual identities. They're the people that have stuff going on at home, and they, for some reason, do not feel safe. And it takes a long time as a teacher to build community relationships for us all to have a positive learning environment. And so in the beginning of the year, the relationships between Soli and the one-on-one relationships are so valuable because she gets to have a safe space with them that I don't get to have because they have to come to me after school, and that's the worst. So it takes a long time, and I'm thinking about 3 specific students in my class who have just grown so much because of the love that Soli has given to them, and who are truly facing challenges that I will never know because information flows to you in a way that it doesn't flow back to me. And so I know that those kids are very, very grateful for you. And Soli's room is just decorated so inviting. So I am here to stay, so much I love you. Everyone wants to be in there. So it just feels inviting and they never want to leave. And that says so much about how caring you are for them. And also, because of all those things that are happening with the otherness, some of the students have behaviors. What? And as a teacher, it feels so awesome to rely on you because you come up with a plan. And we try the plans and some of them work and some of them don't. But for the most part, I really feel at least there's some effort of recognition of the struggles that some teachers go through. And I have seen a specific student that I can't name who I'm thinking about. And in my class, there's been huge growth. And that is all because of a reward system that you are working with. And so I really appreciate you at the ground level of being a teacher. But also, I talked with some other counselors at our school, and they also said that just working with you, because they get more one-on-one time with you, not so much me, they said that just in general, it's really wonderful being your coworker, and that they always feel like you are so selfless and you are there to talk with them about the fact that they're humans too. And that school is full of students, but it's full of adults that also need attention, and you're there for them too. And one more thing. It is just people at Mission Hill are very passionate. And sometimes that passion is intended so good for students, but their approach makes it really hard for us to always work with them. And Soli, your approach to working with us is just so easy. And it's just wonderful to get to ask you for help or what do you think about this? And so overall, we're very lucky to have you, Soli.
A round of applause. A round of applause for our Counselor of the Year, Soledad Hess.
All right. Wow. So, want to start out by just saying I think this is a great timing to do this type of award ceremony because it's the end of the year and things can definitely be a little bit crazy. I know I was talking to a teacher today and she had said it's kind of like a roller coaster. And I was like, a roller coaster in a tornado. And then she said, on fire. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a summary. So just to be reminded, it's also, even if it gets crazy, there's also, so many good things about it. And it's such a good reminder of why we're all there and why I am there as a mental health provider is because we are right there where the kids need us when the kids need us. And that is such a privilege and why I really love my job. I talk to, people when I travel or go different places, and I hear of so many people who do not have the mental health support that we have for our students here in this county. And I'm so appreciative to that because I have a job because of it. But also it's what we should be doing. We're treating the whole child. We're treating their mental well-being as well as their academic. And there's a lot of places, that don't do that. So I really, really think we do such a great job of that. And I hope we continue to do that in the future. Also, as you can tell already, I have wonderful coworkers. And I really do. I couldn't do the job I do and the job that I do well without having such wonderful admin team, teachers, staff, parent support. We have a great PTA, and just all around, I feel so supported and nurtured, and makes me love my job, and it makes it easier to do. So I'm so very appreciative of that. Also, I guess the other thing that I wanted to mention when I was kind of trying to think of what I'm going to talk about when I get up there, but just usually every day on the outside of my door, I have a whiteboard and I like to put trivia questions or quotes or just little random facts. And kids like to stop by. There's candy involved for the trivia questions, so that helps. But they also hopefully get a little knowledge, and I also get to meet kids that I normally might not meet. So today's question was, what's something new that you've learned about yourself this year? So I got to learn, a lot of kids came up with great introspective things. Some not so much, but I always love to hear what they have to say. And then one kid was like, well, what have you learned new this year? And I was like, well, that's a good question. Probably a lot of things, but today I was just thinking, I've learned in the last week or two since actually getting this award or this recognition that it's kind of hard for me to accept awards or compliments sometimes, right? I think it's something that a lot of us have where it's like, oh, well, everyone should get one, which I do think is true, but, maybe I'm still not doing enough, or I also feel guilty that I'm getting it and other people aren't getting it. And so I'm going to try to take what I tell other students or students that have a hard time taking compliments, which is to smile and say thank you. And so I'm smiling right now from ear to ear, and I'm saying thank you, and thank you to the board for doing this, and thank you for the recognition. It really means a lot.
So Soledad, on behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, we'd like to present this award to you as our Counselor of the Year for the County of Santa Cruz. Congratulations. Okay. So our next award winner is the Teacher of the Year for the County of Santa Cruz. And this year, our award winner is Russell Brian Love from New School Community Day School of Wassavo. Mr. Love teaches science, biology, and PE. His main teaching credos, home from his own academic beginnings and experience raising his three sons, are learn by doing, learn together, and no aburrimiento permitido, no boredom allowed. Mr. Love created New School's outdoor school and character development program. Now it's in its 7th year and its 12th iteration. Behind those philosophies and New School founder Don Eggleston's belief that students aren't supposed to sit still in classrooms for 6 hours a day. As a coach of beach volleyball, basketball, soccer, and now flag football, Mr. Love has led the New School Aztecs to 14 Monterey Bay Alternative School Athletic League championships in as many years. Yeah. Mr. Love attested none of the above would be possible without Mrs. Kimberly Dawn Love shoving him out of the house in the morning, or the overwhelming brew of love and vibrant passion that swirls through their household where they live with their daughter Dylan, son-in-law Josh, and their 3 grandchildren, Jagger, Journey, and Jet. Mr. Love often sends me invitations to events at New School, and I'm not able to go visit, but there are some amazing things that are happening at New School in the Pajaro Valley Unified School District. And to talk to us a little bit more about Mr. Love, I'm going to invite Sue Gralty, who's the principal at New School, to join me, but I'm also going to invite a very special guest, Murray Scheckman, he just finished a term as interim superintendent for PVUSD. He's a dear friend, and I'd like to invite him to join me up here as well. Please welcome Sue Gralty and Murray Scheckman.
I'm surprised it's not brighter, Brian. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for honoring Brian this way. So Brian and I started at New School. He started about a year before I did, about 14 years ago. And I came back last year as principal of New School. And the one thing that always amazes me is how this guy has so much energy and love for these students still 14 years later, which is amazing. We have a day off of school. What's he say? Hey guys, do you guys want to meet and go play basketball? You want to go meet and go do this? So he's always engaging kids to be their best selves every day, all day. And the energy and love and passion he has for our students and the students that we serve, which are not always the easiest, he always shows up for them with a smile on his face and love in his heart. That's an amazing, amazing man. So thank you so much.
Wow, what a treat. I thought I was done speaking in front of a board. I came here for this gentleman, and I've known you, Brian, I don't know how long, 30 years? I've known Don equally long. One word, enthusiasm. Susan said it all. I always took pride in trying to be fulfilled 9 out of 10 days in whatever job I had. He does it 10 out of 10. And his enthusiasm brings the most out of some of our most at-risk kids in the Pajaro Valley. I get to see new school kids at a Rotary Club meeting that sometimes Brian brings or sometimes Susan brings, and they're stellar in how they talk about themselves, their success, their teachers. And I'm just really grateful to be here. And he obviously dressed for the part. Congratulations, and thanks for honoring this gentleman.
So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Brian Love.
Wow. So first of all, I just want to honor call attention to the people that showed up for me. Don Eagleston is one. He's the founder of New School. So New School's 30 years old now. And Don is a great mentor to me, as is Murray, as is Sue. And none of it, and Jody Richardson's here too, who is a co-teacher with me, and she could be standing up here just the same as me. But none of it happens without my family. Dylan Love is here, my son who just recently moved back from Southern California. And the family that I live with, the cute little family upstairs is back there, Josh and Dylan and Jet and Jagger and Journey. So all of that contributes to my daily joy of going to New School. And the first thing I wanted to say really is this honor is not lost on me because teachers work hard. Can I get an amen? Teachers work hard, and there are hundreds of teachers in this county that could be standing up here. Many of them much more talented and more fundamentally sound than me, probably. But I'll wear the crown. I will wear the crown for them. There is a crown, right? But what I wanted to say really is, well, they say find a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And that is not true of teaching at all. You'll work harder as a teacher inexplicably. And you won't be able to explain how hard you work. A more apt quote came to me the other day from the college freshman favorite, Charles Bukowski, who once wrote, find what you love and let it kill you. That's where I'm at with this job. Another quote that occurred to me is from another unconventional source is, sometimes you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. And that is New School. And I have been so blessed to find New School and to fit there. I came to New School in between opportunities, as they say in sales. And it was my 4th sub job. And the principal at that time, Victoria Sorensen, invited me back. And, every day there's drama, there's conflict, there's resolution, there's problems you just can't imagine. There's problems beyond your imagination every day. Good and bad and deeply heartfelt, right? But somehow I would learn over and over again, including today, the students that are the most challenging are the ones that need us the most. And I also have some big blowing hole in me where I need them too. And it's just, it's been a symbiotic relationship that's really worked. And she's made me such a better person and really reached my potential. I appreciate this recognition, and I hope to represent all teachers, right, that deserve to be up here today. And I'm glad that I was shown the light at New School, and I'm glad that teaching is going to kill me. And I just thank you. I thank you for this recognition, and I'll see you all again. Thank you.
Mr. Love, on behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, we'd like to present this award to you as our Teacher of the Year for the County of Santa Cruz. Congratulations. I'd like to ask Mr. Eggleston and to join us as well.
I didn't wear the right shoe.
If there's.
Kim Gunn, when you get up there,
First right here. 1, 2, 3. Got it. There you go. One more.
We'd like to invite all the awardees to the Tech Center. There's cupcakes and cookies and other refreshments for you, so please head over to the Tech Center. We're going to direct you over to the Tech Center. We're going to take portraits soon. We'll also be taking some portraits in the Tech Center.
If we will have a 5-minute recess, if you will be back at 5:01. Thank you. I would like to call the meeting back to order. And we are now, after filling our tummies with yummy things, thank you, Berenice. We will move on to item 7.2, which is the Santa Cruz COE's Youth-Led Leadership Alliance presentation. And I will turn this over to Dr. Sabah.
Thank you, President Roth and members of the board. It's really a pleasure to welcome so many of our student leaders here to our board meeting. Our focus on student leadership and engagement is something that we prize probably more than anything in the work that we do. The young people inspire us, they lead us, they are our role models, and they also remind us about why we are in the work of education and why we support them and support our schools. We've, under the leadership of Andres Ortiz, our student leadership and engagement coordinator, we have been doing our best to create different opportunities for students to be able to engage, to see themselves as agents of change, to develop their own skills, and also to be thoughtful about how they want to improve the community, how they want to improve their schools, how they want to improve the world. And this group of students that we've been working with are absolutely amazing and inspirational. So today we wanted an opportunity for the students to share what they've been working on, what each of the different what leadership groups that has been participating has been focused on, and so that you can get to know a little bit about what their accomplishments have been and why they've been participating in these groups. you'll see that each group has a different name and a different focus. And you'll also recognize that they're all part of the Youth Leadership Alliance. They're all part of this big group of students across the county that are connecting with each other and learning from each other and working on bettering their schools and their community. So we're going to get started first with our young artists taking action. And I'm going to ask if Andres Ortiz can introduce our students who are going to be discussing this group. Welcome, Andres.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ferris Superintendent and the board. So the groups you're going to be hearing from today, there's 6 different groups. The first is Youth Artists Taking Action. The second is going to be our Youth Mental Health Leadership Council. Then we're going to have our Youth for Environmental Action group, our Black Student Union group, our Multilingual Youth Taking Action, and our Queer and Trans Youth Council as well. So they're all awesome. So first, I'd like to invite a member of our Youth Artists Taking Action group. This is Chip Higby. Sorry, Chip. Chip is a member of our Youth Artists Taking Action group. So,
welcome, Chip.
Hey. I liked drawing with other students and weekend activities and making stickers. I sounded like a kindergarten student. And
My name is Adrienne, and I'm the mother of Chip Higby. And I just wanted to thank everyone as a parent in the community of a special needs student with autism for the opportunity through YADA to access peer-to-peer community art projects with a diverse community of students. And also to access technology like the remote access between the 2 classrooms, to learn about technology and a chance to learn about our community through participation in community activities on the weekend. We really appreciate the accessibility for Chip Higby. Thank you.
So our Youth Artists Taking Action group, we have 2 students that are going to be. Bye, Chip.
Bye, Chip. Thank you. Before Chip
Chip?
leaves, we do have something to present to you, Chip, if you wouldn't
Yes.
mind.
Hold on.
you want to show your hat? Yeah, this the hat I drew on Monday. Drawn.
Chip, would you like to come over here? Chip, we'd like to present this certificate of recognition to Chip Higby in recognition of your exceptional leadership and advocacy as a member of the 23-24 Youth Leadership Alliance. And this is presented to you on behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education. Congratulations, Chip.
Only if you'd like to.
Okay.
Come with me, Chip.
You can stand right here and right in the middle, face this way, and then open up that certificate. Perfect. Lift it. And perfect. And above the hat, then maybe one, you want to lift up the hat, we can do another lift up it just a little bit.
There you go.
Perfect.
Got it. Thank you.
Bye, Chip. Bye, Chip. Thank you. So as you can see, Chip's an amazing student. He's brought a lot to our group this year. We're going to hear from 2 other students from Youth Artists Taking Action. Their names are Ramon Jimeno Herrera. He's a student at Aptos High. And then we're going to hear from Yaretsi Arias Luna, who's a student at Watsonville High. Neither of them could be here today. Ramon is taking a retake. It's finals season. And then Yaretsi is actually getting the award for Student of the Year at Watsonville High. Yeah, so big shout out to her. She's an amazing student as well. So if we could go to the next slide, please. And okay, so here's Ramon. It's
Doing good, Andres.
Thank you, thank you.
Superintendent Sabah, if I may, while we're setting that up, I just wanted to give a shout out again to Andres Ortiz, our student leadership coordinator, but also to all the adult facilitators behind Youth-Led Leadership Alliance who are supporting these youth throughout the year, several of whom are here today, Amity and Audrey on our team, and at our partner organizations. So as the Director of Communications and Engagement, I get to support them from afar as part of our department. And really, this program is just the jewel of our department, I think, in many ways, the COE, and really just also want to thank your board for all of your support. So thank you.
And if I may, could we just we have some facilitators here. Would all the facilitators, would you mind raising your hands or standing up just to be recognized, because they do amazing work with our youth. These are our awesome facilitators. So they meet with our students once a week, and then they also, we meet once monthly at the beginning of every month on a Saturday. And each of these facilitators, they do such great work. They're there supporting the students, whether it be in person or online, and they really help bring their visions to fruition. So.
For some reason, it's not letting me share the sound, which we would need for the video. So I'm not sure why. Something about why. Maybe you could make me host. See if that works.
Yeah.
Superintendent Sabah, if you'd like, we could potentially change the order of our presentations as some of these youth leaders are here in person and see if we could get the sound to work.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yes.
So our next group we're going to highlight is our Youth Mental Health Leadership Council. And I'm actually going to invite our facilitator for that group, Marisol. Marisol, would you mind coming up?
Hello. I don't have anything prepared, but I did bring a sample. So the kids have been working on a workbook just around self-care ideas, because that has been a very big and impactful thing that has been affecting our community, especially our youth. We were creating videos as well. That's another project that we're working on. We're creating videos to be able to educate the community around mental health, particularly parents, caregivers, teachers, and anybody that can be an ally for anybody who's dealing with mental health. But I wanted to bring this today so that you all can take a look at it and hopefully use some of the workshops that they've created. And this has all been created by them. Which is really, really powerful, because it's things that have worked for them. It's things that they have tried and that they really love and enjoy. So we're really proud of this group. And we really started with an idea, went for it, and now we have something to show. So we're really excited, and I can pass this around so y'all can see it.
Thank you, Marisol. And I should add, Marisol works with Monarch Services in Watsonville. And so they've been doing a really great job. We've partnered with them to make this Youth Mental Health Leadership Council possible. And they're doing a great job leading it with the students there. This slideshow does have a video of one of our students, Catalina. So in the interest of time, I suggest we'll go ahead and skip to the next slide deck.
Hello everyone, my name is Catalina Lopez and I have been a part of the Youth Mental Health Leadership Council since its conception about 2 years ago. And today I am beyond proud and excited to share with you what our group is all about and what our project is for the year. Our group started meeting through Zoom around 2 years ago, and our meetings mostly consisted of education and community outreach. But our overall goal was to increase awareness around youth mental health and to end the stigma on the topic in our community. At the end of last year, we started to meet in person at different school sites with the hopes of getting more participants. We started meeting around the time of finals, so we had the idea of hosting self-care activities to help students cope with the end of the year stress. We had a really positive experience, so we kind of ran with the idea of providing students with a comforting, accepting, and safe and community at school they could be a part of. So throughout the year, different students have had the opportunity to host self-care workshop once a week through our mental health club that we established, which is an extension of the Youth Mental Health Council. Through that, we are project manifested, which is the self-care booklet. The booklet is centered around emotional self-care and has 3 parts. The first part is self-care workshops, which we have done as a group together. Then we have grounding techniques, and it wraps up with journal prompts. This book means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to our members. We had so much fun connecting with each other through these activities, and we gained a lot of leadership skills as well. It's important to me because the hardest part of struggling with one's mental health is feeling alone. And through this book, we've been able to form a community where everyone feels safe and where others understand your experiences and accepts you for trying your best every day. And I think that's so beautiful, and I think it's very valuable. Our hope as a group is to reflect that in our booklet and show other students that they have a whole community rooting for them and that care about their emotional well-being. Thank you so much for your time and support, and I know as a community we can come together and uplift each other. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so next I'm going to invite 2 students from our Youth for Environmental Action group. Let's have a round of applause for Sophia and Nola.
We can just stand in between it. Hello, everyone. Thank you for letting us come out and an opportunity to speak. My name is Sophia Latier. I go to San Lorenzo Valley High School, and I've been a part of YEA for 2 years now.
My name is Lola Salazar. I'm a senior at SoCal High, and this is my first year of Youth for Environmental Action.
Awesome. So what is YEA? So YEA is our youth-led leadership club focused on bettering and protecting our local environment. We focus on environmental education and solutions for our school campuses.
Some of the activities we've been involved in are our annual summit, talks on radio shows, school site activities, a countywide survey with over 1,100 responses, monthly leadership trainings, and attending school board meetings like this one.
Who's in YEA? So every high school is represented in our group, and we have at least one member from each high school represented in our leadership team, as well as in our support team, which doesn't have as much involvement as leadership team, but still supports through every process.
We started in 2019, and we're actually the first of the now 6 YLLA groups that we have, and we are facilitated by the amazing Amity Sandage and Colin Jarvis. Some of the things YEA has done is collaborated with our Youth Artists Taking Actions, which was an event where we painted murals at the county office, centering the community connection and responsibility to our environment.
And you can see those photos on the next slide, up in the top right corner and also in the building itself around the outside. YEA members also regularly speak on the K-Squid radio, talking about events we have coming up, whilst also amplifying youth voices in the environmental activism sphere. And there's a picture of that too. And then next slide, thank you. So a couple photos featuring our 2023 summit, which was our last summit. This was held at Koinonia Conference Grounds. Similar to what we did this year, we had a large opening circle, which you can see in the top right picture. And this was a summit that invited our admin and staff from the different high school districts, as well as the high school students themselves. And we had a opening land acknowledgement as well as a panel discussion, which you can see with the photo on the left. Then we led into booths for the different students and staff to engage with the local community events and organizations like the Seymour Center, Homeless Garden Project, and much more. And then we go into our breakout groups where we talk specifically with the YEA leaders for the district and the staff and students that were able to attend. This space is meant for collaboration between the district and the students to really create problem-solving solutions to make their schools more environmentally sustainable whilst listening to student voices on what they really want.
So this year, next slide, please. We had our 2024 Earth Day Every Day, Our Planet is Up to Us, Summit, and it was a great success. We had some amazing organizations such as Clean Oceans International and Santa Cruz Green Schools Program, and they hosted some educational and engaging booths for all the attendees to walk around and explore. We also had a very insightful panel made up of Alicia Munoz Rojas, Jackie Castorena Davila, and Adam Scow, and they were able to talk about their firsthand experiences with food service sustainability, landfill management, and protection of farm workers. We also had our special guests, the esteemed wildlife photographers and environmental advocates, Chris Ekstrom and Franz Lanting, and they shared us a beautiful presentation on their Bay of Life program, which focuses on the amazingly diverse Monterey Bay and why it is so important to protect this precious ecosystem. And just like Sophia was talking about, we had individual school breakout groups, and that's where we were able to communicate any ideas that were sparked by the summit and have a really close relationship between the students and the administrators. And some of these discussions have actually had impacts on school policies and actions, all to become more sustainable. And there's some photos on the next slide.
There's NOLA, and then there's the panel speakers with me and Natasha and Tess that are in YEA. And then there's the little, what's it called? Booth activities at the top right. And then Franz and Chris at the bottom there. So what else has YEA done? So much. We presented at the CISC Symposium, which is the annual conference of the Curriculum and Instructional Steering Committee of the Santa Cruz County Superintendents.
We presented alongside Senator John Laird and other community leaders at the Democratic Women's Club conversation about climate event at Cabrillo College.
We created videos to amplify student voice, as well as created and distributed a countywide high school survey. This is our second annual survey, and it's really incredible. We had a lot more results in certain districts. For my district, for example, San Lorenzo Valley High School, we had the least amount of responses last year, only 39. And I really tried to promote it more this year, spoke with my school board, and we were able to have the most this year with 324 responses, which is a lot because I only have about a little bit less than 700 in my district. So it's a good response rate. Very happy about it.
We also meet with the district green teams to provide student perspectives.
We presented to the Santa Cruz County Board of Education and other YEA member school boards.
We've also taken part in the School Board Academy, which hosts leadership training opportunities for students who are currently in the school board as trustees, considering the position, or who are just interested in learning about what a school board does.
And we also do our annual summit.
Thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate this opportunity to share what has to offer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before we move on to our Queer and Trans Youth Council, is it possible to go back to Yada so we could see those videos that our students made? Oh, yes. And while we're queuing that up, actually, I'm going to invite Nola and Sophia to come back. We've got some awards for you.
So we'd like to present the certificate of recognition to Nola Salazar in recognition of exceptional leadership and advocacy as member of the Youth-Led Leadership Alliance. Congratulations, Nola. And we'd like to present Sophia Letier in recognition of your exceptional leadership and advocacy as part of the Youth-Led Leadership Alliance. Congratulations.
Okay, so going back to youth artists taking action, we're going to hear from Ramon first.
Hi, I'm Ramon Jimenez Herrera, and I'm a member of Youth Artists Taking Action, or YATA as you may also know it. We meet every Wednesday here at the COE and at Watsonville High School. Then we Zoom between the two locations to connect the groups. Our mission is to share messages through art. This year we focus on affirmations and how they can help us with our mental state and emotions. We combine artistic images with inspiring words to create positive messages. Here's some posters and stickers we made.
And next slide, please.
We also participated in the STEAM Expo and the Youth for Environmental Action Summit. These photos show some of the activities that we led. At the summit, students had the choice to make We also participated in the STEAM Expo and the Youth for Environmental Action Summit. These photos show some of the activities that we led. At the summit, students had the choice to make bags with environmental messages or stickers. We had 4 tables that were completely full of students decorating their bags with fabric markers.
And next slide, please.
The next slide shows us at the STEAM Expo. There, we led a sticker making activity where we had students of all ages come by and make stickers. The next slide shows us at the STEAM Expo. There, we led a sticker making activity where we had students of all ages come by and make stickers of whatever they wanted. It was really cool to see all of the creative ideas people came up with, and it was an honor being part of creating this opportunity for students.
And next slide, please.
We talked about next year, and we're interested in either doing another mural or learning about digital art. We do have an ask for either of these projects. If we do another mural, we'd like to hire a professional muralist to help us with the project. And if we choose to pursue digital art, we'd like a budget to buy iPads and styluses. Lastly, we'd like to share a promo video with you. Hope you enjoy.
And the last slide is the next one, please.
Do you consider yourself an artist?
Yeah, I do. Or maybe you don't consider yourself an artist, but you just like to do art.
I do. Are you interested in creating an impact in your community?
I am. Or speaking up about issues that you care about.
Yes, I do.
If so, you should join Youth Artists Taking Action.
So there's our Yada group. I did want to point out a couple of things. So I'm sure as you can see, there is a lot of crossover between our groups. Our groups, show up at each other's events and facilitate different things. And also in terms of the interest, those cross groups as well. And that last video I'd like to mention too was made with the equipment that was given to us through a partnership with CTV. And they gave us these Padcaster kits. And so many of our groups, you'll see some videos actually in this next presentation that was also made with the Padcaster kit. So that was a really great resource that was available to our students this year. So thank you to Tech Plus for providing us with that. Okay, so next I'm going to invite our Queer and Trans Youth Council. Come on up. Round of applause.
Okay, great. Hi, we are the Queer and Trans Youth Council. We're down one member today. Unfortunately, Sion couldn't make it, but my name is Nico Olmsted. My pronouns are they, he, and I am a junior at Delta High School.
Hi, my name's Juniper Brown. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm a senior and I am currently homeschooled.
Hello, my name is Madeline Alia. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a junior at Cypress High School.
Hi, my name is Alex Trask. I use he, they pronouns, and I am a sophomore at Scotts Valley High.
And like I said, Sion was not able to make it today, but they're also a junior at Delta along with me. And our advisor is the wonderful Jamie Cutter in the audience. So the council is a product, it's funded and it's put on by the Queer Youth Task Force. Every year, a group of students on the council get together and they decide on a community project to do and spend the year kind of doing that and putting that on. So I'll hand it over to Juniper to talk about this year's project.
Hi. So the Queer and Trans Youth Council has done a lot of wonderful things, such as creating a website with a bunch of resources for queer and marginalized youth, as well as also advocating for gender-neutral restrooms in schools. But this year, we decided to work on publicly accessible educational videos that could be used in any environment, in a school environment, could be watched by people at home, that are meant to help teach people about gender diverse issues. We call these the Gender Diverse Collection. It's a total of 3 different videos and each cover a different subject. They're meant to be entertaining, educational, and also a little bit funny sometimes. So the first video is Pronouns in the Wild. This is a video on how to ask someone for their pronouns. It's sort of put together like a nature documentary. And we got even like a discount at David Attenborough sort of voice actor for it. It provides some helpful insight on how to ask someone for their pronouns, including what not to do, how not to respond to someone asking you for your pronouns, and such as making assumptions or feeling insulted. The next video, I just want to mention that Pronouns in the Wild, the script was actually written by Maddie here. Before we move on.
It was a lot of fun to make.
Do you want me to play the video or move on to the next slide?
Not yet. I'm just going to describe the videos. Thank you. Then we have Gender Explained, a brief summary. It's a much less humorous video, but it still has its funny parts. And its goal is to teach about gender versus biological sex and what gender expression, the binary gender is. These are things that are really commonly misunderstood. For myself, I'm a binary transgender man, and people might often interpret me as a more feminine lining gender. However, I'm not. So this video clears up that sort of mindset. And then lastly, we have an insight into queer mental health. which was a video to help educate about the mental health crisis that currently plagues transgender and queer youth. It sheds light on common statistics that reflect these issues, and it's delivered through the words of the council members. And now we have a trailer that includes some short clips from these videos.
Yes, I am queer.
I am queer.
Yes, I am queer. Yes, I am queer. Hi, my name is Juniper.
This is Billy. Billy is in the market for a new friend.
I'm here to explain to you what you may or may not understand about gender, biological sex, being transgender, and some of the struggles of transgender people. I feel like a stereotype about queer people that I often hear is that we can't just be ourselves.
Number one, the assumption.
Are you a girl?
No. Although someone could identify as a binary man, they could still partake in traditionally feminine things or dress. I'm wearing a skirt, and I'm still a man.
Something I love about my queer community is how accepting and loving we all are, and that if you ever need anything, you can count on your queer friends to be there for you.
Pronouns are any phrase you use to refer to something, gendered or not. You is a pronoun, me is a pronoun, us, we, they are all pronouns.
Maybe we should.
Even they is a pronoun.
Wow. To be cisgendered is to identify with the gender you were assigned at birth, which may also align with the sex commonly associated with that gender.
They're wearing a dress, so they must be a woman. That must be a man. They're wearing pants.
I often feel isolated and excluded because of my identity, especially because I don't conform to gender standards.
Give me your pronouns.
I like my pronouns.
And yet, despite all this, we still find ourselves wrapped up in the idea that pink is for girls, blue is for boys, dolls are for girls, cars are for boys.
I have felt isolated and also excluded because of my identity, unfortunately.
Something that I love about our queer community is our strength in numbers.
My pronouns are normal. Aha. Aha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Aha ha ha. Ha ha aha. Aha ha ha.
Narrator. If you need to at any point in time, this video will always be available for you to brush up on your knowledge again and recommend to other people as a vessel for learning. We hope you enjoyed.
Yeah. So that next slide.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Although those videos do look perfectly put together, there were some struggles, to be real. Me personally, I co-wrote the Insight into Queer Mental Health video with my other council member, Sion, who unfortunately couldn't be there. We both wrote it. It was definitely a struggle trying to figure out which questions to pick and which ones would be important and finding statistics. We also struggle with like setting up equipment. But that was mostly it.
Yeah, I was, the role that I played was mostly technical support. And so learning how to use it and setting up the equipment was most of what I felt challenged with. And so, just on one filming day, we had to set up the podcasting kit, make sure all the mics were working, set up the screens, all of the lights, and all of those have a different and distinctly hard way to set up the tripods and everything. So many extension cords on the floor. So that was definitely a challenge, but in the end, we got it together.
Yeah. I did a lot of the video editing. Well, not a lot. I did all of the video editing. I just want to say I had never used the editing software Adobe Premiere Pro before. I had never used it. I went in completely blind and I still did it. So, yeah, the actual physical equipment, script writing, editing, and we managed to do it. Now we all have this new skill set that we can bring into so many different projects. And that's really exciting.
Juniper's mic work.
Yes.
Yes. And I did the writing and played the lead role in Pronouns in the Wild. And I would say, at least from my experience and knowledge, that was the hardest one, because that was the one where we weren't working off of either improv or being able to have access to like a teleprompter of a sort. That one was entirely us acting while working off of just having to remember the lines and then finding the place. And the creating of the script itself was personally very exciting for me, as I was able to put various experiences of the way I have asked and been asked my pronouns into a little documentary. I have not ever said that my pronouns were normal.
And we also would just like to say that the videos are, like I said, publicly accessible. So you can find them on the Safe Schools Project YouTube channel. And yeah, they're accessible to anyone. So you feel free to use them in any way you like.
Yeah, and this is where sort of the purpose of making these documentaries, we were thinking these would be an excellent, we put our heads together for this so we could create a tool which could be used to educate on queer issues, specifically involving queer kids, with a tool that was made by queer youth. A lot of the time, the supplies made for queer youth and people trying to understand queer youth were made by adults who don't really have a complete understanding of the group they're educating on. So we encourage you to watch and distribute and use these films freely as a tool made by and for queer kids.
Oh, okay, yeah. Should we get the same? Yeah.
On behalf of the County Office of Education, the County Board of Education, we'd like to present these recognitions for your exceptional leadership and advocacy as a member of the Youth-Led Leadership Alliance. And we'll start with Nico Olmstead. Round of applause, please, for Nico. Next, we have Juniper Brown. Alex Trask. And Madeline Alia. Can we get a picture with
your seats just right in the middle here?
I would like to say that if you weren't at the Quela event on Saturday night, where these wonderful students were present and producing and doing the whole show, you missed something. It was great.
Okay, perfect, right here. Got it.
Thank you, QTYC. Next, I would like to invite up our Black Student Union. Let's have a round of applause for them.
Hello, everybody. My name is Danielle Henry. I'm a graduating senior from Santa Cruz High School and a member of the county-wide Black Student Union. And my name is Christela Henry. I'm also a senior at Santa Cruz High School. In addition to being a member of the countywide BSU, I'm also the BSU president of Santa Cruz High School. First, we would like to thank the board members as well as Superintendent Sabo for your time this evening. Next slide, please. The mission of our group is to create a safe space for Black students to build relationships, create community, and celebrate Black culture and history. One of the ways we've tried to build community this year is by connecting with BSUs at other campuses. Thanks to our advisor, Deshawn, we were able to meet and work with some of the students from PV High School BSU. They began attending our countywide meetings and came to some of our portfolio workshops in the fall, where we worked on building our college portfolios in preparation for the Black College Expo. We hope to continue growing these networks next year by reaching out to BSUs at other campuses. Oh, and here are some pictures of us, of each group. And yeah, the pictures. Go back to the slide real quick, please. Yeah, these are pictures. Okay, look at us working together. Oh, yeah. That's the YLLA, that's the Santa Cruz, and that's PV. Okay, now, next slide, please. Thank you, sorry. Oh. We also tabled at the MLK Youth event. This was a really fun day where we got to meet students and staff from other organizations like NAACP, United Way, and Emoja from Cabrillo. We also facilitated a game called Name That Civil Rights Leader. If you got all of them correct, you won a free BSU sweater. It was hard, but we learned some civil rights leaders that we didn't know before. So it was pretty cool. Next slide, please. As you know, a huge part of the civil rights movement was centered around voting rights. We wanted to help inform our fellow students about the importance of voting and encourage them to register or register early so that when they turned 18, they were ready to go. So we created a short video and set up a table at Santa Cruz High to let students know why they should vote and how to register using the State of California's website. Kalea and I wrote the script and filmed it ourselves. Although we were nervous at first, we eventually warmed up and had a great time. This experience made us better about public speaking and made me feel more comfortable in front of a camera. And then next slide, please. And here's the video we made.
Hey guys, I'm Christela. And I'm Kalea. And we're here to talk about the importance of voting, seeing that this year is a presidential election year.
Registering to vote is important because it gives us a way to have a say in our community and also allows us to participate in our democracy.
When you don't, others decide. This may help manifest a future that you may not want. These rights were fought for, so don't take them for granted. Your voice matters. This March 5th is primary election day. For some of the requirements, you have to be a U.S. citizen and a California resident. You have to be 18 years or older by the election day.
And here's what you need. You'll need a driver's license or a form of ID, your last 4 digits of your social security number, as well as your date of birth.
For early registration, you have to be between the ages of 16 and 17 and meet the prior requirements. So by the time you're 18, all you have to do is show up and vote.
For more information, come see us in the quad.
Or scan the QR code and register to vote.
So, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, we took a trip to Oakland to attend the Black College Expo. There, we were able to meet with recruiters from colleges all over the country, including several historical Black colleges, UCs, and CSUs. Deshawn created 3 workshops to help us prepare our resumes and personal statements. We learned how to format a resume, improve our writing, and practice our interview skills. This experience allowed us to explore with which universities offered the best programs for what we want to study and expand our horizons for what's possible through our education. So yeah.
Next slide, please. Our last event for the year is our annual Black graduation ceremony. It's a beautiful event open to all Black graduating seniors across the county. It will be Saturday, May 25th at London Nelson, 3 to 6. This will be the 25th year of the event. We're happy to celebrate a quarter of a century to recognizing Black academic excellence in Santa Cruz County. We have graduates from 6 different high schools. And last year, my sister and I were the MCs, and this year we get to be walking across that stage. Next slide, please.
Since Christella and I are graduating, here are some of our hopes for the future of BSU. We hope that we've set a good enough example for the underclassmen to feel empowered to be the next generation of strong leaders. We hope they continue to bring together BSU clubs from other high schools across the county, like Soquel, Harvard, and Apsos. We'd like to see them do more. We'd like to see them do more activities together to build relationships and celebrate community. Next slide, please. And we would like to continue the Black Grad Scholarship that was started last year and will be given again and hope to be able to provide this scholarship annually. We believe that if a certain amount of BSU's yearly budget were dedicated to the scholarship each year, it would help students start saving their money for post-secondary goals, whether that's going to college or pursuing some other form of professional training. An increase in BSU's yearly budget could help make this possible. While Santa Cruz High has a long-standing foundation of Black grad and BSU, in order to continue the county-wide group, we need more resources and connections to expand the reach of our club and engage students all over the county. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Thank you so much.
All right. On behalf of the County Board of Education and the County Office of Education, we'd like to present this certificate of recognition to Danielle Henry in recognition of exceptional leadership and advocacy as a member of the 23-24 Youth-Led Leadership Alliance. And we'd also like to present this award to Christella Henry in recognition of your exceptional leadership and advocacy. Congratulations. Christella Henry.
We can do it after. That works. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Thank you, BSU. And the last group, but certainly not the least group, that we're going to be hearing from tonight is the Multilingual Youth Taking Action. So I'd like to invite them to come up. Valeria and Uriel, round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. We'd like to thank Superintendent Sabat and the board for having us. We are the Multilingual Youth Taking Action, and my name is Valeria Guzman from Watsonville High School.
My name is Uriel Marino Surieve. I'm also from Watsonville High School. Slide 2, please. All right, the mission statement. Our mission is to advocate for the appreciation and education of languages, celebrate multilingualism and cultural diversity, and support our fellow students who are newly arrived to the US or are learning English as a second language. Secondly, we also believe that language is a vehicle for the communication of ideas and issues that affect everyone in our society. That is why we seek to create a welcoming community that is inclusive of all languages and cultures, so that everyone can be seen and valued for all aspects of their identity and no matter where they come from.
Our group is the newest of all the YLLA groups. We formed out of the need to acknowledge multilingualism as an extremely valuable asset and to push back the negative rhetoric surrounding those who do not speak English as their first language. Although we struggled a little with recruitment at first, eventually we were able to assemble this group. This year, we met every Thursdays and sometimes Mondays from 5 to 6 on Zoom to work on planning and organizing the World Language Showcase. This allowed us to work on the same documents from different locations across the county. Our first project was the World Language Showcase. This event took place April 24th at SoCal High. It included poster presentations and poetry readings from students who came from various schools. It was a successful evening and it allowed us to learn and listen to the work of community members from different backgrounds. Our multilingual group contributed to the event in many different ways. Not only did most of us present, but we also split into 2 teams to help organize the event.
Our first team that we have created was a design team. And inside the design team, we have created programs and certificates of recognition that we give to the ones who participated in the multilingual showcase. When creating the certificate, we created different versions. However, later on, we decided as a group to decide which one to do, which one to show off, right? We voted. We used Canva to work collaboratively and save our progress. One of our main goals was to make sure the certificates and the program were colorful and stayed true to the theme of multilingualism throughout our designs. For example, as you can see in the presentation, we used the flags inside, outside the border, in the border, and we used that inside our certification to represent the diversity of cultures. Our logo, which is in the middle, was created by Ruben, one of our members who is not able to be here today. Depicts the earth surrounded by a speech bubble. Its design is meant to convey the role that language has in uniting and connecting people, and represents our group's goal of promoting this role of language throughout the community.
Slide, please. The other team was made up of Nati, Ruben, and I. We were the MCs for the event. We helped host the event by welcoming the audience, introducing the presenters, and transitioning the crowd between different segments of the program. This really helped us practice with our public speaking, especially in Spanish. My favorite part was being able to speak in front of people with the transitions. When we called them back to their seats, we had to think on our feet and be able to translate in both languages. One of the challenges we had was that one of the mics broke, so we had to project our voices so that everyone can hear us. When the mic broke, it was nerve-wracking, seeing as it was during the middle of a presentation, and eventually we would have to go and stand and talk again. But for me, having used my voice and being naturally loud, it came normally.
Next slide, yeah. For next year, some of the things our group would like to focus on are advocating for more language classes to be implemented at school with not as many offerings, encouraging more schools and speakers of different languages to participate in the showcase. This year, we had a lot of Spanish speakers, which is really good. It's amazing, right? But it would also be nice to see some other languages represented as well, right? We will also like to partner with the International Academy, which is housed at Watsonville High. so that we can help students who are newly arrived to the United States get oriented on campus so that they know how to access school resources and feel more part of the community. And on slide 8, some things we would like to let you guys know. The guys, sorry, kind of informal. But before we can conclude our presentation, we would like to share some things that we have learned and observed during our work this year. At Wansonville High School, there is no AP French. There's lots of students who are interested in taking French as an AP and continuing to learn languages. But since we do not offer AP French, they have to take a third-party test. But we will also want them to have a more advanced French than just French 2 or French 3, right? Also, at SoCal, Spanish is the only language being taught. Students would like to have more variety in having a foreign language class, right? As an observation as well, we notice that some schools offer language courses that others don't. Whatever the process is for determining which classes get taught at which schools seems a little inequitable.
As many of you know, there is a little controversy happening at the PVUSD over the status of the ethnic studies courses. The defunding of the CRE contract because of alleged claims and not speaking to the people who are going to be impacted, like the teachers and students, not only shows a lack of respect for those involved with the program, but it also discourages students who are fighting for their education, who don't want their education to be restricted, and who have the right to learn the truth. The board has not talked to the community members. They have not visited the classrooms to see the program. They have limited their voices by cutting their 2 minutes in half. They have moved public comments to the end, discouraging them from staying to speak, and have not listened to the people that they represent. All of these actions show a lack of value for student voices and opinions about their education they are receiving. The contract is there to help teachers support their students in achieving the best education. Ethnic studies classes highlight the good and bad parts of culture, and whether good or bad, these are things that deserve to be said. As you know, our mission statement encourages the celebration of culture and but how can people do that if they can't even learn about it in their classrooms from teachers who aren't getting the right support? Having been in an ethnic studies class, I can say that the lectures and lessons have helped me understand and see other cultures. I got to relate to books written by people of the same culture as a Latina and had the opportunity to talk about it. The ethnic studies classes are not only growing, but without the right support, these students won't be able to receive the education that they deserve. Tonight, I ask you to encourage the contract's renewal and to think about all of the students at PVUSD who are fighting for their right to an education that is supported by professionals who know what they are doing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you to these wonderful young leaders and the youngest of the different student leadership groups. I'd like to present this award to Valeria Guzman Rocha in recognition of your exceptional leadership and advocacy as a member of the 23-24 Youth-Led Leadership Alliance. Congratulations, Valeria. And also to Uriel Marínez Uribe in recognition of your exceptional leadership and advocacy. Congratulations, Uriel.
Thank you.
This is Barbara Hübner, our coordinator of multilingual programs.
This concludes our Youth-Led Leadership Alliance presentation. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. I know it was a bit long, but thank you so much for allowing the students the space to express themselves and tell you what they were up to this year. Another round of applause, please.
Would the board like to make any statements to these amazing youth?
I think this has been one of the most fabulous meetings we've ever had here. and the participation of the audience and the people that have engaged and come in to talk to us about various things. And I thought that the students were relaxed at the microphone. They had content to tell us about. And I'm pleased to be here. And thank you very much. So you shouldn't tell us that we're just so patient because we sit here and listen. Well, we enjoyed it tonight. I think all of us enjoyed it very much and learned a lot. So I pass to somebody else. Nope, just me.
You guys are awesome. I don't know much more I can say to that, but to me, it's really important that we elevate youth voices, that our board supports it, our office, our superintendent supports it, our teachers and our staff support it. And it's really what we're all about. And so the leadership that you're showing today, including, I just want to comment that holding our feet to the fire about issues about funding and services and stuff like that was a very important thing. And I'm really glad that you all made that point. That's part of why we want to hear student voices. So thank you. Thank you. And I'm totally impressed.
Anyone else? You know, we do approve the budget. So as Bruce is saying, very appropriate messaging. But to me, to see the growth in these youth groups that we are supporting at the county level it's gone beyond now of what we thought about. And it is being driven by you, the students. So keep growing, keep going, and bring in more students. And your voice is important. So thank you very much for dedicating the time that you do to these groups.
Shout out to Andres too for your great work. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, we are going to item 7.3, which is the Santa Cruz County Office's Countywide Robotics Club. Dr. Sabah?
Yes, I think I'll start us off for this and introduce Tim Sylvester in just a moment. So we're very, very excited this year. This was actually the result of a conversation that Tim Sylvester was having with me and some other folks from the COE about some of the great work that he and many mentors in the community had been doing to provide opportunities for students to learn about robotics. And so we decided in that conversation that the County Office of Education and X Academy, which had been doing a lot of great work in robotics and in other areas like mathematics, would partner together to be able to expand the reach of these opportunities for students across the county. We wanted to make sure that students in Watsonville as well as students in Santa Cruz had these opportunities. And we started developing a plan to build robotics for students and opportunities for students to be able to learn about not only robotics, but all the components that it entails, because what the students you're going to be here, what they're learning are so many different components that are going to open up so many doors and career opportunities for them in the future. And we're really excited. I'm not gonna. I'll leave the announcement to in terms of what's happening with this team, because our students participated in a competition recently and did really well. And I've just been so proud of the students' work, and I'm so grateful to Tim and all the coaches who have been working with our students and really supporting them through this process. So. Welcome to Tim Sylvester. Welcome to X Academy and COE robotics team. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ferris.
You did a great job setting that up. Our chance meeting was in the rain a year ago at the county math competition, and I was chatting with Heather and saying, "Hey, I need to go mentor a robotics team." And she goes, "Wait a minute, you have to talk to Ferris." And then an amazing, like a couple months later, we started the program. In the fall, we had 52 students from 16 schools in the county meeting on Saturdays down at Soquel High School, and then on Sundays at a makerspace just down the street.
Sequoia High School in Watsonville, yes.
Sequoia, I do that, apologize. Yes, Sequoia. We had 52 students in the fall, and then 30 of them, starting in January, created 2 teams. And as Ferris mentioned, those 2 teams competed at the regional competition. And I will let Ben in a second tell you what's coming up next. During the day, I'm an engineer at Joby, and then on weekends, my other 2 days of the week are doing robots. And my son and I started the program in our driveway during the pandemic. My son graduated last year as a math major at UC Santa Barbara now. And we thought we're going to wind down the program and be empty nesters, but Ferris talked us into and gave us tremendous support along with Jason and Elizabeth Shaw and Heather, the science coordinator. I'll stop talking. There's so many other great things, but I'll turn it over to Ben, who's the CEO. And
hi, I'm Ben Hillard. I'm the CEO of Hephaestus Robotics. That's our robotics team. I'm a senior at Santa Cruz High School. Part of the biggest thing I've learned this year as the CEO has been leadership. And confidence in my leadership, I think, has been a big thing. I now feel like I could, if I were to go up and try and make a project, it can actually happen. Because I mean, we managed to make all this happen. Not obviously, it wasn't just me. It was a whole bunch of very talented people coming together. But yeah, and so Tim was saying it was a week ago, a little over a week ago. A week ago today, we had our regional competition at Watsonville High School for the MIT ROV, and we ended up placing 3rd place. And we had done this competition before, and we knew that 1st and 2nd, you got to go to world competition. So although 3rd place was obviously very happy, we were a little bit bummed we weren't going to world competition until a couple days later when we get an email saying that because of one of the people who works at the competition knows us and they understood how well we did last year at the world competition, he actually applied for us to get bumped up to go to the world competition. And we had done it. We were going to go to the world competition. So what that means in about a month, a little over a month, we're going to be going to Kingsport, Tennessee to compete with teams from around the world with their robots. And we're really excited for that. Yeah, I don't know if I can.
And we'll turn over to Bent next, but this is 1/4 of the team. We have 20 kids on the team out there. So Bennett, why don't you fill us in on what you guys worked on?
Yeah, so we compete in the MATE ROV competition, which is like an underwater robotics competition where we build ROVs and also vertical profiling float to complete tasks that are aimed to imitate real world problems that we're experiencing, like coral reef restoration and also ocean monitoring and all sorts of other missions related to ocean conservation. So the biggest piece you can see here is the ROV, which has so many things going with it that the team really had to learn a lot. They had to teach themselves their own skills related to mechanical design, electrical design, system integration, software design, and so many other things. So a lot of the students in the fall obviously went blind into this program, not knowing many technical skills. We first helped the other teammates in a program to teach them all about the software and principles like buoyancy and all that. And yeah, so once we were able to do that, the students gained a lot of skills related to all of the different subsystems and different, angles in terms of engineering disciplines. So yeah.
Orlando, you want to talk about the float?
Yep. So, oh wow, that's loud. Okay, so this year, our float, as you can see over there, it's made with fresh new parts. The float is basically supposed to be carried out into the pool or in the ocean by the ROV, and from there it's supposed to use a buoyancy engine. in order to float to the bottom, retrieve data, move up to the surface, and then send the data to a topside computer. That way we know if it's sustainable for aquaculture, or if we just basically want to know like the depth, temperature, or pressure of the water, right? This year, what was really challenging for us was mainly the computer programming within the float. We're using a Raspberry Pi with Python and C++. The reason why it was very hard for us to do this was because everyone on the team was relatively new, including myself. So we just went in there. Yeah, we went in there blind. We had no idea what we're doing, but we managed to make it work. Aside from that, we also learned other technical skills like working with CAD and Fusion 360, because some of the components inside of the float are actually custom made. They were designed and then laser cut. And one final challenge we had during the competition was that we didn't account for the extra depth of the pool. We originally practiced on a 6-foot deep pool for the float, and the float would not come back up to the surface at the regional competition because the pool was 12 feet deep. There was an extra 5 pounds of pressure. So when the buoyancy engine tried to move the water outside of the float, the pressure made the water go all the way back in. So although our float didn't perform as we expected it to perform, we're working on it, and we hope to do very well in the championship, in the World Championships.
Hi, I'm
Orlando, what school do you go to?
Oh, I go to Diamond Technology Institute. I'm a freshman.
My name is Cole. I'm a junior at Santa Cruz High School. This is my first year on the team. With the team, we did a lot of community outreach, namely the STEAM Expo, and also we went to Santa Cruz Works and had a station there. At STEAM Expo, we had a station where like kids could build like ROVs with PVC, and they got to like try them out in a pool that we had there and collect rings. And it was very cool to see. We had like so many children coming and like trying it out, and they seemed like genuinely interested in it. And we also got like a lot of parents that wanted more information about like about our team and possibly getting their children in once their children were in high school. And then at Santa Cruz Works, we also met with a lot of like individuals in the tech community for like potential sponsorship or like just receiving our newsletter.
Sophia, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you worked on and maybe your favorite part of the program?
Sure. Okay, wait. So, thank you. Thanks. So my name is Sophia Castelletto. I'm a sophomore at Pacific Collegiate School. This is my first year on the team. So this year I had next to no knowledge about robotics when I went into the program, and I really wanted to learn about engineering and specifically software engineering. And so when I went into that program, I wasn't sure exactly how much I was going to be able to learn, but it turns out it's actually a really, really good environment for learning. And so I remember there was one time when there was a mentor that came in, and he was really, really good at Python. And he worked with me one-on-one, and we made a Python script that was able to gather data from sensors and then write it to a database and then upload it to a software called Grafana. And that was mainly what I was working with through the robotics season. And I thought it was just a really valuable experience because I was able to learn so much. And also with my peers on the team, like Ben and Bennett, they were able to explain stuff to me like photogrammetry. And so I was really grateful for the amount of learning that I was able to do this year on the robotics team.
I just want to introduce Tim Matson in the back. He's also known as the other Tim. Tim has been my partner in crime along with my wife, Barbara, on the X Academy for about 10 years now. And these guys undersell themselves. What they've done is absolutely amazing. I've been an engineer in Silicon Valley for 25 years. I'd hire any of them in a minute in college interns, and I do hire them at Joby. They built a commercial quality ROV. They learned how to make printed circuit boards. They used ROS, which is a robot operating system. We had one of the mentors as a college professor at UC Merced teaching robotics. When I told him the kids wanted to do ROS, he kind of like, oh, okay, sure. And they did it. So they can, and the two teams that beat us were, one was St. Francis Catholic School in Sacramento, and then the other one's Valley Christian in San Jose. They've been doing these programs for at least 10 years. Valley Christian has like $1 million makerspace. These guys started with nothing and built a brand new ROV in 4 months. And we're this close to winning the whole thing at the regionals. And we're going to go to Tennessee and have a great time do well. And I also want to point out, it's like working with Ferris and Jason and the rest of the staff has been amazing. Most people think like, oh, government's so hard to work with and education's like Ferris, and they were so flexible and innovative out there. And one other thing I want to tell is like, one of the things we found out when we were down at Sequoia School is that the kids in Watsonville, many of the kids had to drop out of the program because of family issues or because of they had jobs. So we were doing it on Saturdays. So it was very hard to keep them. We kept a few, but it was hard to keep them. So we were talking back and forth about this, and I suggested that we have the club during the school, like after school, during the school week. And then Jason pointed out, and Crystal pointed out that, well, we would run into the same issue. So then Jason says, well, why don't you teach a class one day? And so that may be happening, that we may be teaching a class, a robotics class at Sequoia this fall. So thank you. And we do have some pictures there.
You'll see Uriel in the background, who is, he's also part of the team, right?
And not only is he multilingual, he's multi-talented. So he does there, it was a cold, rainy day, but we still had fun. And there they are in their t-shirts. That's the Angry Otters. That's the other team of 12 kids. And they placed third. And there's a robot in action. Oh, yeah, that's extra. That's our math program, which we do get support from Kevin Drinkard from the math coordinator.
So just if I could just add, Tim is absolutely amazing, and he's going to be teaching at Sequoia High School with our alternative education programs as part of the as part of the master schedule. So he is. I've rarely met somebody who's so dedicated in so many different ways to students. And again, the students are brilliant. And so with the support of somebody like Tim and the opportunities it's just, it's phenomenal. Their future is so bright. And everything from the problem solving skills that they're developing, the leadership skills that they're showing, we want to make as many of these opportunities available to students as possible. And so good luck in the Worlds. Congratulations. I'm sure the board would has a few words that they'd like to share with you.
Bruce.
So first part of my life, I made my living as a woodworker, making furniture and kitchen cabinets and things like that. And that's making things. And making things is really central to who I am. I grew up with tools in my hands, but mostly, working with wood or metal or things like that. More lately in my life, what I make is software. I develop software to do data analysis and stuff like that. And there's this weird gap between those two kinds of activity. I mean, they both involve thinking and design and creativity and so on, but software that's on the computer and it's, the wood shop, is physical, you breathe sawdust, it's just like it's a whole different thing. What I love about this is that you're doing the kind of the computer software, that sort of realm of making electrons do things for us. At the same time, you're getting all these atoms into place to do something physical. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing both of those things. It's good for you, and you're going to produce more in the world, I think. But making things is really one of the central human things. It's like ranks right up there with dancing and making music and stuff like that, as far as really basic to living a good life. So keep making things. That's all I want to say. Thank you. I'm totally impressed.
Thank you.
Ed is going to be
There we
with
go.
us.
There it goes. Finally. I'm impressed. All I can say is you students are amazing. Just looking at things, it looks confusing, but I'm sure you all know how to make it work, which sounds, wow. Tim, keep up the good work. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with the students. I know there's a bigger group of you all. Keep it up. Great job. Thank you for sharing.
Something. So I'm very curious about what those gadgets are that you've developed there. And I was playing a guessing game with him about the one that is in a tower. And I'm gonna put my guess out there. Is that a coffee maker?
Should I talk about it or do you want to?
No, this is the float. This is what you can use it.
Pick it up. Can you just take it?
It looks like a cup of coffee is going to evolve at the bottom of it. See the cup of coffee?
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Really. Maybe
It's on,
next
right?
year.
Yeah.
Let's bring it in.
Yeah, yeah.
Just pick it up and show us after. I'm just gonna leave it here.
Or a cup of coffee.
All right, all right.
There are actually parts of coffee makers in there. It's not a complete coffee.
So this is the float I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be pushed out by the ROV. The river's supposed to grab it onto the PVC pipes, send it out into the water.
Here, I'll hold it for you just so that anyone watching remotely. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, just a quick repetition. So basically, this is the float that I was talking about earlier. It's supposed to be grabbed by the ROV, as you can see over there. It's supposed to grab it by one of these PVC pipes on the bottom, and it's supposed to send it out into the pool or into the ocean. And what it's supposed to do, you see all the tubes right here, right? These are all solenoids, tubes, and pumps, and they're supposed to suck in water from this little hole over here. It maneuvers it inside what we call the bladder, which is basically the container, and that's how it becomes heavier for it to sink to the bottom. So in order to float up top, what it does is it just expels the water and goes back up to the top. Everything's powered right here. Big pack of batteries right there. And the brain of this is the Raspberry Pi you can see right over here. All these, everything on top here is just like for Wi-Fi connection, and all these are sensors.
Wow. So the water getting in there doesn't stop it from happening?
No. It's every single time before we bring it into the water, we always make sure it's watertight. So we have like a vacuum pump at the top right over here where there's a little tube that says okay, right? We usually plug it in and make sure that it's watertight so no water can spill on the inside and nothing gets damaged.
Excellent then. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks.
thank you.
Bennett, do you want to pick up the ROV and just show them because it's tilted right now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is how the RVs, sorry. Yeah, so this is how the RVs out of the water. It has 4 like rubber feet on the bottom for it to stand on if you want to move it how it's in the water. It also has a rope on it that's.
And if I could add, one of the things that I was most impressed with too is they have 5 minutes to set up all of their equipment before the competition. And so they have 5 minutes where they rush in and have to put it all together, get it ready for the test to begin, where they get evaluated.
Yeah, it's a very tedious process. There's definitely some headaches associated with that. But yeah, some of the central things on the RV you can see there's the 6 main thrusters that help the RV move in the water. And then on the top, there's the electronics enclosures with the brains, the Raspberry Pi. And then there's other stuff like the motor controllers and also sensors and all sorts of other components.
I would like to say that we have come a long way, and I'm absolutely proud to be on this board and supporting Ferris and everyone connected with with this. In the 50s, when I was in like 7th grade, I went through the math book and became a troublemaker in the classroom. And so the teacher removed me and 2 other guys, and we rebuilt his engine. And this is a long ways from that. But I want to say that what I learned by doing that was incredible. And I am so jealous of what you, the width and breadth of what is available and will be. I mean, this is just a scratch of the surface of what's coming. So appreciate your time and willingness and wanting to be in this program. Thank you. And go get them in Tennessee.
And can I say one thing real fast?
Sure.
It's not that we don't do it just to make the robot. It's also just a lot of fun. I think one of my greatest, I've been doing a lot of stuff, finishing up senior year, and it was like the competition was obviously stressful, but it was really fun. We've got these ridiculous red jumpsuits you can see. But I was working on pulling the ROV in and out of the water and doing stuff with that. And this was as rain was falling off the tent right onto my back. So I was soaked and freezing and my fingers were numb from being in the pool. But I was just having a blast the whole time. I remember getting up at the end and just smiling. It was so fun.
Good. Any other comments?
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Bring us back the trophy.
Okay. Could we get a picture and perhaps we can get the whole board out this time? All right.
Okay. Forward. Put Santa in front of It's like yeah.
All right, if we just get a little bit closer together, we can fit everyone in frame and just a little bit shoulder to shoulder. That's perfect. We have to have Jason. Jason, come on. Okay, right here. Got it. All right. Come on. Are you going to swap the staff view?
I just didn't know about it.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't have it. Yeah.
He said it was on the website.
Next.
Resolutions. Yeah. It's Vernice who writes these blurbs, and these blurbs are really.
Okay. What an evening. This is a great meeting. Item 8, new business and action items. We'll move on to item 8.1, approval of resolution 2420, recognizing LGBTQ plus Pride Month. Ferris, or should I hand it over?
I'm down here as the presenter, but somebody wrote my lyrics here for me. I appreciate it, Vernice. Okay, this is a short blurb about the LGBTQ plus Pride Month. The Santa Cruz County Office of Education, along with all 10 school districts, raised the Progress flag in honor of Harvey Milk Day. The Progress flag is is a visual representation of acceptance and inclusion. I'd like the board to consider adopting Resolution 2420, recognizing LGBTQ plus Pride Month.
If I could just add to this, and thank you so much for bringing this forward. We've, for those of you that may have been able to be present at the Queer Youth Leadership Awards, it was really a wonderful, wonderful event and a wonderful celebration of what our LGBTQ, and I'm going to add Two-Spirit plus students, what they have brought to our, to what they bring to our schools and to our communities, and also the opportunity to be able to stand in support of our students and to be able to state affirmatively that we are going to continue working as hard as we can to make sure that students that we celebrate their differences, their uniqueness, and that we're going to continue doing our best to ensure that those safer spaces are available to them so that they can bring their whole selves to school. And this resolution really is about taking an opportunity to highlight and celebrate our LGBTQ plus community. And if I could make a proposal to add the 2S to, as I saw, I learned at Quila that has become kind of an addition for Two-Spirit, which is an expansion of the different identities that are celebrated by our community.
I move approval with the amendment to add 2S for standing for Two-Spirit.
To clarify, so it would become LGBTSQ plus?
LGBTQ 2S for Two-Spirit.
The number
Plus.
2.
Nope, then
2S.
plus.
Oh, 2.
2S before the plus, yeah.
If I could add one more thing, also intersex and asexual, so LGBTQIA 2S.
Thank you.
There we go.
That
That's
is
the
correct.
full.
I appreciate that addition. IA2S.
And I will second the motion. And also we'll say a little bit about, we went to Quila this past weekend? Wow, it was amazing. It was just so much fun, what the students put on. And I was also there for the raising of the progress flag as well. And then some more students came here today, so it's really good to see them. I saw some of them 3 times over the last month, and it's just been amazing, the advocacy that they do, and they're so passionate, and I really love to see that.
Somebody make a motion?
Yes, Bruce
Is there a
and.
second?
Second was
Second.
Edward.
Good.
So, Berenice, if you would take the roll.
Trustee Acosta?
Aye.
Trustee Estrada?
Yes.
Trustee Nichols?
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez?
Yes.
Trustee Van Allen? President Roth?
Yes.
Student Trustee Alvarez Delgado?
Yes.
So the motion passes. Thank you, and thank you, Sandra, for bringing it to us. Item 8.2, approval of Resolution 2421, recognizing Juneteenth.
Yes, if as you know, I believe it was 2 years ago when Juneteenth became a national was recognized nationally. And this the Juneteenth, as you may know from history, is that in some places across the United States, even though the Emancipation Proclamation was declared by Abraham Lincoln, there were places across the country where slaves continued to be slaves, and the awareness that they had in fact been freed had not come to them. And so Juneteenth is celebrated because on June 19th of that same year, 1863, soldiers arrived in Texas and to communicate that all slaves have been freed, and it is a celebration of freedom, is a celebration of the contributions and the traditions of Black Americans in our community, and also with that memory, and also looking forward towards the future and to the excellence that our Black community brings to us here in Santa Cruz and across the country. So this is this recognition is an important one, and we would appreciate it if you would consider its approval.
I'd like to
Sandra?
tack on something about how in 1866, there was no Google, there was no national newspaper from the New Yorker. There was not anything like that. And so if you lived in an area that wasn't close to the things that are happening, like Washington, DC, you would get the information. But if you live in a place the outskirts of the country, Texas, and that Texas didn't know. People who lived in Texas didn't know that there was an Emancipation Proclamation, and it applied to enslaved people in Texas. So Juneteenth is just the learning of that. I don't know what year that. Let's see.
It was 1865, so when the war ended, when the Civil War ended.
Yeah.
Took a year.
Yeah, but keeping it under your hat for the people who have slaves. I mean, it's just interesting and bizarre that the news doesn't travel fast the way it does now. Just learn about that just in 20 seconds if it was 2024. Anyway, I'm glad it happened, and I'd never heard of Juneteenth until a couple of years ago when a lady said, "Do you know what Juneteenth is?" And I said, "No, not really. What is that? What does that mean?" So next time I see her, I'll tell her I know what Juneteenth is. Okay, that's all I had to say about that one.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second.
It's motion made by Sandra. Edward is the second. And Berenice, say if you would take the roll, please.
I just wanted to add, it's also a great actual event. It's a great celebration.
And if I could request a change to the date, I believe says 2023. We need to change that to 2024. It could be the maker and second of that motion. We'll just make sure the date is accurate. Sandra, are you okay with that?
Are you talking about the date that's in the
resolution?
At the end of the resolution, it's on the second page. It should say 2024.
Okay, so that's corrected. Good.
And if the second, sounds like Sandra is, and then Edward is supporting of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Student trustee Alvarez Delgado,
Yes.
trustee Acosta, trustee Estrada,
Yes.
trustee Nichols,
Yes.
trustee Sanchez,
Yes.
trustee Van Allen, President Roth.
Yes. So the motion is passed. Next is 8.3, approval of resolution 2422, establishing Fund 40, Special Reserve Fund for Capital Outlay Projects. And I don't see Leanne, but I'll give it to Dr. Sabah.
We have Michelle Kennedy here. Thank you so much. Who's one of our directors from our fiscal services department. Thank you so much for being here. Michelle is going to be talking to us a little bit about why we're looking to establish Fund 40. Is it on?
There you go. Now we're green. Okay, there you go. Sorry. Yeah, you are a stickler for that microphone, aren't you, V? Thank you for having me this evening. Deputy Superintendent Reyes couldn't be here this evening. She is actually in Sacramento on the subcommittee for BASC. They're currently writing the common message with the governor's budget that was just released, so she'll be having more information for you. Before we get started, I'd just like to say was really exciting for me to be here. I have been here for the awards for, Teacher of the Year, Administrator of the Year, but it was so much fun seeing the kids. One of the highlights was the Youth Environmental Action Summit. Some of us from business actually got to stuff those bags that they were able to decorate, and it was very cool. They had decomposable pencils, and they had metal straws, and they had wooden plaques so that they wouldn't be using plastic or anything like that, so they could write their own names on them as their name badges. So it was a lot of fun. Did then get to see the kids do all the work. So that was great. So this evening, I am going to be presenting to you a resolution to establish Fund 40, a special reserve fund for capital outlay projects. This fund should be established if the COE would like to set funds aside for capital outlay projects in the future. This would be general fund undesignated funds to put aside. These would be used in conjunction with grant funds or other state funds that we would have in a special reserve fund. If those funds were not used or wanted to be returned back to the COE General Fund, Fund 40 does allow for that. So there's transfers in and there's transfers out. I think that's it for the
Yeah,
establishment
if
of
I
the
could
fund.
add to
Yeah.
this, and so capital outlay projects could mean if we are going to be acquiring any property, this is the fund that would allow us to do this. Now, if we would, when we propose a budget for, when you come to review the budget, if there is an allocation for anything like that, we would bring it to you to be able to review that. So, but creating this funds allows us to place funding into this, because that's where it wouldn't come out of our general fund, it would have to come out of a capital outlay fund.
Question, I think there's a typo. The third whereas seems to have an incomplete clause there. Unrestricted county school service fund $01 via interfund transfers and other something. Should that be other sources, other funds? Not clear what the other is.
No, I believe it's just interfund transfers and the and other can come off.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to make the motion and with that amendment, and also appreciate your, even though you said you enjoyed it, you stayed here through a pretty long meeting.
It was quite entertaining too.
Yeah, well, if I'm going to have to stay for a meeting, this was the one to stay for. So yes, thank you for that.
Indeed, indeed. Well, a motion's on the floor, so was there a second?
No.
I'll be the seconder.
So Bruce with Sandra as second. Bernice?
Student trustee Alvarez Delgado,
Yes.
trustee Acosta, trustee Estrada,
Yes.
trustee Nichols,
Yes.
trustee Sanchez,
Yes.
trustee Van Allen, President Roth.
Yes. Thank you. Have a good, wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that motion passes. And next, we will be scheduling a special board meeting. And I'll let Abel, you want to take this? Or Bruce? Or both?
Yes, so we have a committee that was formed last meeting specifically to address the board vacancy that we have from trustee Alto. And we did receive some applicants, and we were discussing a date to be able to do the interview process and selection. I believe the deadlines don't allow us to wait until our next scheduled meeting. So yes, appointments must be determined and final by Friday, June 14th, which unfortunately is not in time for our regularly scheduled meeting. So that's why we have to do a special board meeting. So so Berenice was able to send out a doodle poll, which I believe most of us responded to, and suggesting May 28th, 29th, or the 30th. And I believe the 30th was the one that most of us could attend. So bringing this to the board so that we can agree that the May 30th does work. And remind me of the time?
4:30 to 6:30 I have in my notes
4:30 to 6:30?
for that particular date, the 30th.
Perfect. Does that work?
The other ones were 4 to 6. The 28th and 29th were 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
So 4:30 to 6, May 30th. A Thursday. Friday?
No, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Just Thursday.
It's fine with me. I'll go with Thursday.
Okay.
So then what is the time?
4:30 to.
Yes, so the reason I had asked for your availability at 4:30 is because we have the May revise that day from 2 to 4. And so to allow you all a break,
Exciting day.
transition, to breathe before we got into interviews.
So I believe we need a motion, right, to be able to make that special board meeting.
Is there anybody who can't come on that date before we decide to choose that date, Thursday? I could come on any of these dates. I'm just available.
Again, I think we all responded to the doodle poll, and I believe that works for us all. So unless something came up between the past week when that poll went out and today, I believe we can all attend it. And I do want to I do want to acknowledge Rachel and Williams, who was here with us today. Thank you for joining us and listening and being a part of the board meeting this month. Any motion that was made?
So I will move for May 30th, 4:30 to 6 for the interviews and appointment.
We're talking about 4:30 to 6:30.
Is it 6:30?
I put 6:30 on the doodle poll, but there's our board meetings don't have a strict end time. So
Let's just do a start
yeah,
time.
it's a strict start time.
Starting at 4:30.
Motion made by Edward, second by Bruce. We need a roll call.
Student trustee Alvarez Delgado,
Yes.
trustee Acosta, trustee Estrada,
Yes.
trustee Nichols,
Yes.
trustee Sanchez,
Yes.
trustee Van Allen, President Roth.
Yes. So the motion passes, and we will have our special board meeting on May 30th at 4:30 here in this room. Okay, superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to provide a brief superintendent update. You know, this has been quite a busy time, and many of you have been a part of some of our activities. This image was taken at our picnic last week, and it's actually a drone shot, and I think some of you may be in this photo. And so thank you so much for joining us. We had this at, what is the name of the park?
Jennings.
Ann Jean Cummings Park.
Skyball.
And so really a wonderful event to get together, and it was just wonderful to be able to kind of let loose and relax and join the fun. I wanted to share with you that at this very moment, two of our own are being honored at the Pajaro Valley Prevention Student Assistance Awards. And so Blanca Corrales was selected as a hero for children, and she works in our alternative education program at Sequoia High School. And Michael Painter was selected as a board member of the year for Pajaro Valley Prevention Student Assistance. So they're being honored or probably already occurred earlier today. And it's just wonderful that they're being celebrated by this organization for all the great work that they do in our community. I wanted to share with you just some of the events that have already occurred in May, just because I think that it's just kind of a wonderful, some of we've already talked about. We had a presentation of Fentanyl High on May 2nd, the robotics competition we already discussed, the rainbow flag raising. We had a career and resource fair at Sequoia High School on May 9th. We had a fun day for our students with special needs. We went to the Queer Youth Leadership Awards. And then last night we had another showing of the movie Fentanyl High in Watsonville. And so just a lot of wonderful things that are taking place. May is such a busy month for us, but these are culminating events for different parts of the different aspects, not necessarily ones that we're, facilitating only ourselves, but that we partner with and support. And there's just a lot of, it brings me great joy, and I hope it does for you as well, to see that the COE is involved in with so many partners and doing so much good work on behalf of students and the community. I did want to share with you a little bit more about the fentanyl crisis, because this is something that is of great concern to us. When you look at the data, Santa Cruz County is one of the highest counties in the state when it comes to overdoses with fentanyl. We're the 8th highest in the state for last year. And this is one of the reasons why we've been getting so involved in bringing awareness for prevention of fentanyl, both for overdose and also for fentanyl poisoning, because in some cases people and young people are looking to acquire fentanyl. In other cases, they're looking to acquire something else and they get poisoned with fentanyl. In either case, we want to make sure that we're helping young people, we're helping parents, we're helping the community to be aware of the dangers and the risks, and think about what protective factors we can put in place as upstream as possible, so that we're helping people, young people, to make good decisions for themselves and not experiment and not take risks. And also downstream, when we think about how to get Narcan in the hands of everybody, so that if somebody sees, and also to learn the symptoms of overdose and know how to respond and how to help somebody who may be experiencing an overdose. And Fentanyl High, which is a movie by Kyle Santoro. Many of you have learned about this and have been a part of it. Inspiring is an understatement, but a young man who's a senior in high school who made a 70-minute film that talks about so many different aspects of the fentanyl epidemic, and specifically looking at how it's impacting youth and how communication and relationships with family and friends are so important, and how to make sure that we're supporting our youth through the mental health crisis, and so that they're not self-medicating and taking risks that could lead to the dangers of fentanyl. We're also working on building healthcare pathways, also wanting to promote e-bike safety. We're seeing a lot more emergency room cases as a result of e-bike safety. We're promoting a nutrition and exercise campaign. We'll be inviting you to an event in September or October where it's a summit to share some of the things that we're working on, things that could be done in school, things that could be done at home, how to make sure students, young people keep moving, that that families and youth are making healthy choices for themselves. And of course, we continue to work hard on our behavioral health initiative, and in partnership with the County of Santa Cruz and other partners such as the Alliance, as well as federally qualified health centers, and of course our school districts. This is all part of our different initiatives that we focus on. The one that I think we'll be probably coming back to you with some additional information is the nutrition and exercise campaign when our summit occurs in the fall, but also behavioral health, because in January 2025 is when we'll be able to, when all the programs in Santa Cruz County will be able to access the funding to get reimbursed for behavioral health services. We'll be able to bill insurance. Right now, PVUSD is leading the way, and they're piloting this process, but everybody ages 0 to 25, if we provide services to them using this system, we'll be able to bill insurance and get reimbursed for the first time. It's a very exciting, revolutionary piece that's going to really have a big impact for our youth. Wanted to share with you some of our upcoming events. Graduations, of course, you've seen the schedule. On May 23rd, the wonderful author Francisco Jimenez is going to be doing a book reading of a new novel, graphic novel, at Sequoia High School, and we'd love it if you could join us for that. The Black Grad event is taking place on May 25th. You heard a little bit about it from our Black Student Union. We also have our special education post-senior graduation here on May 30th, and a wonderful event that we'd love for you to join. We're going to be participating in Santa Cruz Pride on June 2nd. We'll be tabling as well as participating in the parade. And then we'll be initiating our Student Trustee Academy. We'd love it, Bruce, if you're available to help us again, but we'll invite all of you to join us. We'll be working, we're already recruiting our students. They'll be learning about how to be a student trustee, and we'll see if Oscar, maybe you might come and be a guest speaker as well, and to welcome a new group of students with us. A lot of exciting things happening, and we also are going to send you a link to all of the pictures from the picnic so that you're able to see some of the fun that we had. I'll just do a quick. There was me trying to convince somebody to sing, showing the lyrics. There was a trivia game. And it looks like those are all the pictures that we have, so not a lot, but okay. Well, we'll add more to the collection soon. So
You singing?
no,
Karaoke?
I didn't. I was just doing a little grooving in the background to do some inspiring. That I was just trying to. I think that's going to be the next thing, though. We'll be doing some karaoke next year. I think we're very close.
It was
to making it
met with
happen,
silence.
Nobody jumped up. I thought there'd be some people who would be. But thank you for supporting in so many ways, and in many cases showing up to these different events. And if you're able to participate in our graduations, those are the highlight for us, and so that you could be recognized and playing the important role that you play in supporting all the services we offer. Thank you.
Is there a time on the Black graduation?
You know off the top of your head?
Or maybe you could just send it out to us.
I have 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
3 to 6. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, I've got
That
my
one's a lot of
calendar.
fun. Okay.
Did we have to see the vice chair?
We're going to.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going, I forgot.
oh, okay. Oh, there's organizational board, sorry.
Oscar, what do you have to report?
I was at the CO by Literacy award ceremony at Watsonville High School during the Mello Center. I think what I would most like to report on that was, because I went last year for my brothers, and I could see the difference from this year. There was a lot more schools included and more students as well from those schools. I think it was awesome. More languages as well, not just Spanish too. It was really great.
May I say something about that?
Yes.
I was on the board in Pajaro, and I was the trustee who pushed that and made that happen. And they're still doing it. And it's just a worthy seal of biliteracy. I just compliment myself for being pushy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and next time y'all see me, I may be graduated. I don't know. But also, I would love to be a part
You
of the
will.
Student Trustee Academy. And yeah, that is all for my report. Thank you so much.
Are you pondering further education?
Yeah, I plan to attend Cabrillo.
Trustees, reports? Edward?
I mentioned it a little earlier. First, I spoke at the rainbow flag raising here at the COE. That was really amazing. I mean, there was media there. Thanks, Nick.
You did very well.
Thank you. So, I mean, it was great to see that coverage to, really, spotlight the work that, the COE is doing to support our LGBTQIA 2S plus students. And then the Quila, the Queer Youth Leadership Awards, on May 11th. I mean, that was amazing. It went like an hour over, but like I loved it. So I was like, it was if I were to sit, at a meeting that went on and on, that was where I wanted to be. And they fed us. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I mean, it was just amazing. The students were amazing. We saw some of them earlier today, and it's just, really great to see that leadership, the advocacy that they're doing. They're all speaking up. And I mean, they were really passionate, and in their speeches, they were really advocating, for things that they really, really believe in. And they even brought that energy, here, speaking about, the programs that they benefit from, and that they want to continue to see provided in our community. So good for them for speaking up for what they believe in. So it was amazing to see.
Thank you, Edward. Sandra?
I'll be next then. I've got so much on my calendar, I'm afraid I'm going to just read off things that don't have anything to do with the COE. But the picnic I thought was fabulous. And you guys brought out the toys that children and adults could play together. They had purchased a lot of toys for the picnic. Save it for next year too. And let's see, that was on a Wednesday, and Wednesday's my day to pick up my granddaughter. Remember 10 years ago, I sat on the board and I said, I'm going to be a grandma. Now my granddaughter is 9 years old, and I brought her to the picnic, and she sampled the toys, especially the big bubbles. That was her favorite. And I don't think we were in the picture, but maybe with a microscope you could see, but that's fine. Okay, and then on Thursday, the next day, I attended the rainbow flag raising. What is the name of it? Progress flag. Yeah. Okay, good. I'm going to start calling it the progress flag. Okay, and then the picnic. I said just that, so I went to that, and I had the best Mother's Day ever this year. I'm not going to tell you about it now in public, but if anyone wants to know what the best Mother's Day event is, I could tell you about it. Yeah. Let's see. All the rest of this is just doctor appointments. Yeah. That's
Thank
what it
you.
is, and dentist appointments, and gee.
Thank you, Sandra. Abel.
So I want to congratulate again Michael Painter, Blanca Corrales for doing the good work that they're doing in our community and being acknowledged for that as recipients of the Heroes in Prevention Award by the PVPSA. I also attended the staff appreciation on May 8th. Really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people look forward to that. And it's just a good time to meet, see people that maybe you haven't seen in a while and catch up. So I definitely enjoy it. Really glad that that's something that we can offer. Really glad that it seems like it's really well appreciated as well. And then May 14th, I, along with Bruce, met to talk about the board interview process. Iron out those details and what that looks like. And then also I want to encourage and motivate everybody. Next week is graduation week. And I personally like the graduations that we put on. I think they're very personal, they're very communal, very, very powerful. So lots of different options, different days, different times, different locations across the county. So I definitely encourage and motivate everybody to attend. And I know there's a couple of slots that are still open. So if you guys do have that time, highly encourage everybody. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Abel.
I'd like to pass my time forward to
A little committee work and keeping an eye on the budget. Mostly though, I've been not going to events because I can't chew anything And if it has food, I'm going to be tempted. I almost picked up one of those cookies in that room, but I couldn't have, it would have just hurt me to put it in my mouth. And so, but my friends have come through for me in an incredible way, and I'm scheduled for surgery in June for a new mouth, basically. So that's the big thing on my agenda. I have a question. I forget what it's called, but the mental health handbook that the students
It's really
created,
good.
it looks really good, and I wonder if there are copies available. It looks like something that has been reproduced. I actually even know some people I'd like to handle it.
Yep.
So
If I may, we have several copies that the students have produced for the initial batch, and we are assisting them with funding to produce additional copies. So if you have any specific requests, I'm sure we could get copies for each of the trustees. And if there are any other organizations that you think would benefit from them, just let me know and I'll pass that along to the group.
I'd like one now, but when you do a printing or something, definitely people I know could benefit.
We'll do that.
And they would be good in our community, the community schools. It'd be in their lobby or, very good.
It's well done.
That's all. I'm done.
I attended the picnic. And luckily someone told me the coconut sorbet had a shell rather than chocolate. Otherwise I'd be joining Bruce for dental surgery. Attended the agenda and the Quila, Quila Awards up at Scotts Valley. All I can say is from where I stand and where Scotts Valley has been, it has come a long, long way. And I am thrilled. And we certainly have some talent in our youth. I believe that is all. I wanted to, and maybe this isn't appropriate, but the Golden Apple Award, would Santa Cruz High School IA program, what they're doing, might be appropriate? I don't even know if it's still open, but it occurred to me that they might be.
Are you referring to the CSBA?
Yeah, CSBA Golden Apple.
The Golden Bell Award?
Golden Bell.
The Golden Bell
okay.
Award?
The Golden Bell Award is currently open. I'll have to double check on the submission deadline, but they are accepting submissions for the Golden Bell categories right now. I believe it is until at least the end of May. I'll double check that.
And this was, what program are you speaking?
Santa Cruz High School did a presentation last year at CSBA and on the IA, and they blew out Philip Kahn.
AI?
Yeah,
artificial
their
intelligence?
presentation on what they're doing at their high school and why they started it and all of that.
It does, one of the requirements of the Golden Bell is that it has to be a program that has been in existence for 2 full years.
I
for
think it will be
application.
now.
So it'll be 2 full years?
I believe
Oh,
so.
great. I thought it was from last year.
But it had been in operation for a year.
Great. Yeah.
But anyway, or we can stick it on the agenda for
We could take a
maybe
look
next year.
at that. We'll look at that timeline.
And that deadline is June 28th, so we have reasonable amount of time to take a look at that.
Yeah, I just think it was really a good presentation. Okay. Let's see, any committee reports? I know I didn't make it to the Santa Cruz School Boards Association, and we both were gone. So next time. Okay. Now, item 13 is organization of the board. With our recent trustee resignation, we no longer have a trustee acting as vice president. And I would like to, I would like to call for nominations for vice president. And then the board, we will elect a vice president. And if there's no one stepping forward, I would like to nominate Abel.
I don't think we could do that since it's not on the agenda. You can-
It's an appointment.
It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Yep, number 13.
Yeah, it's hidden. It's hidden.
Okay, fine with me.
He has to say yes.
Yeah, no, it's fine
If
with me.
not, I'm coming down the line here.
Accept, yep.
Thank you very much, Abel. Appreciate it.
I make a motion to nominate Abel Sanchez as Vice President of the County Board of Education.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Edward. Motion by Bruce, second by Edward. If you would take a roll call for us.
Student trustee Alvarez Delgado,
Yes.
trustee Acosta, trustee Estrada, trustee Nichols,
Yes.
trustee Sanchez, trustee Van Allen,
Aye.
President Roth.
Yes, definitely.
If I'm sorry, the motion was to nominate, and so we would need a motion to appoint.
I also used the word appoint. but
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I heard to nominate, I
I
didn't.
did
hear
have, I think I said
Oh,
those
okay,
things.
I stand corrected.
I think what I said was nominate Abel for appointment as, so does that work or should we do a separate motion? just to-
I think, just in case, let's just make sure that you make it, you
Okay,
said
so-
to select or appoint. Yeah.
So I move that the board select Abel Sanchez as its vice president for the remainder of the term.
And I second that.
Thank you.
And that still would be a roll call.
Yeah.
Student trustee Alvarez Delgado,
Yes.
trustee Acosta, trustee Estrada,
Yes.
trustee Nichols,
Yes.
trustee Sanchez,
Yes.
trustee Van Allen, President Roth.
Yes. So thank you, Vice President Abel. Now, our next board meeting will be on June 20th at 4 p.m. and with the special-
Correction, President Roth, our next meeting will be May 30th. at
Right, I was
4:30.
saying our regular meeting.
Oh,
But thank you, because I'm goofy. And our special to interview and appoint to the board will be happening on May 20,
May 30.
excuse me, May 30th at 4:30 here in this room. So,
Don't we also have a second meeting in June?
Correct. There's two meetings. The regular meeting is June 20th, and the special board meeting is on June 27th. We need two meetings for approval of the LCAP. On June 20th will be the public hearing on the LCAP, as well as some other, and then June 27th will be approval of the LCAP. And it's on those dates, I believe, are on your agenda.
okay, so we'll be seeing a lot of each other over the next graduations and meetings, et cetera. So I hereby adjourn the meeting. Thank you for attending.